roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It is Old School 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. No Jay Foreman today. Austin Orman here. To my left or your right on stream, Nick Sainer. Nick, welcome into Old School, my friend.
Austin, I mean this genuinely, I always love doing a show with you. I think we can say that
The feeling is
collectively, mutual feelings. Because we get to talk about things that a lot of our off-air conversations are just brought to on-air. And I think some of we have some of the good conversations here.
I would tend to agree. I will get my one jab from Jay in. I was going to say we upgraded today, going from Nick or from Jay to Nick, and Jay would say, "Well, yeah, of course, because Nick upgraded on me in Colorado." So,
Jay
he did bring that up the other day.
I'm sure he did. He loves to bring up those old stories. I don't remember.
The past, typical Husker 90s.
That's a great point. I don't know when I would assume he's on a flight right now.
Would assume.
So we can say whatever we want, and it will never get back to him. He's
a little private. Doesn't give me the details.
He got mad because I got an incriminating photo of him from Saturday night, and it's nothing bad. It's just Jay doesn't like photos taken of him when he's not aware that there's photos taken of him, and so one of his friends, our mutual friend, not part of the station, sent me a picture incriminating Jay Foreman, and I did not tell Jay that I got it until yesterday, right before you guys got on air, and that's why he was all up in arms about everything yesterday afternoon.
It doesn't take much to get him up in arms sometimes. No. He's for being the big, tough former linebacker, he's got a little sensitive side to him.
I think he's softened up the last couple of years, too.
Fair.
Like because
he always puts on this big tough face. This is the last straw. Next time's the last time.
I swear, next time I see you, I know exactly how to handle you. I know exactly what I need to do. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
I love the guy to death. Love him to death. I don't remember. This was probably 5 years ago when he started joining the station as like a guest before he actually had a show on our station. I used to think to myself, yeah, you know what? I'm never going to mess with that guy. I'm never going to talk. I'll respect the heck out of him. I won't talk about him much. I won't talk to him much. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what the difference or like what was the turning point in our friendship. But now it's like I struggle to see him as like this big tough guy because I just know him too well by now.
Not to say he's just Jay, but he's just Jay.
He's just Jay.
Yeah. Rubber duck from LinkedIn, getting to Unk age, Unk status.
100%. 100%. But also in real talk, he'd do anything for us. I can say that with 100% confidence. If I asked him, I said, Jay, I need money, man. Something fell on tough times. Jay's there.
He would get you on the Steve Stevens money management
plan. He
would.
would. We've participated.
Indeed. 402-464-5685 if you want to be a part of the show. Brought to you as always by the great folks down at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. 3 Lincoln locations, including 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, or 35th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple up in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. All right. First things first. Haven't had a chance to talk about this with Jay. That's all right. We stay more up to date on the actual football on the field there. But off the field, speaking of money management, Big Ten thinks it's having issues. Or more specifically, the Big Ten's commissioner thinks it's having issues, and 16 of its 18 schools agree. You might have heard about this in the background, but we are just about a week away. A week from tomorrow will be the tentative date that the Big Ten and its 18 member schools vote on this proposal to have an immediate one-time influx of $2.4 billion in cash into the conference. It would come from the University of California Pension Fund in exchange for a 10% stake in Big Ten Enterprises. Nick, do you know what Big Ten Enterprises is?
I would imagine it's just the whole conglomerate of the Big Ten Conference, which is weird because Fox is a heavy partner in this as well.
It is weird. It is not Fox. It is a new LLC.
Great.
Created. Big Ten Enterprises being created to, in Tony Petitti's words, better monetize Big Ten assets.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let's take this on its face. $2.4 billion upfront.
Yeah.
Distributed across 18 or potentially 16 member schools. We'll get to that here in a little bit about it. Couple key points about it. Number one, it would extend the Big Ten's grant of rights for 10 years. Right now, it's set to expire in 2036. If this were to be approved, it would expire in 2046, but it would not extend the media rights deal. So you keep the conference together for 10 more years, you would still have your media rights negotiations on schedule. So why does Commissioner Tony Petitti and potentially 16 of the 18 schools like this idea? Number one, provides that stability. In the ever-changing landscape of college athletics, stability. Get the conference together, keep it together. Number two, they think they could better monetize their assets on field, logos and branding, on jersey, uniform patches, sponsorships, marketing opportunities like that, helmets, gear, all that sort of stuff that the Big Ten could have been doing all along, but hasn't done yet. It would be an immediate infusion of cash for some struggling members, right, that need that pull yourself up by your bootstraps sort of thing. Hey, here's some cash to help yourself. Tony Petitti also says it would keep the biggest brands happy because you have a style of revenue distribution very similar to the ACC. So in this proposed deal, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State would receive $190 million up front and 5.5% of league revenues moving forward. USC and Oregon would receive $140 to $150 million and 5% of league revenues moving forward. The 13 other schools then would make $100 to $110 million up front and earn 5% or less of league revenue moving forward. Nick, before we go on to the objections from Michigan and USC, what stands out to you about that plan as laid out?
Well, I think it's wild to think that the Big Ten Conference, and granted, we don't get the look into all of the detailed numbers and figures and stuff, but from the surface level and from the outside looking in, I feel like they've done a really good job monetizing the Big Ten Conference so far. I think that in all seriousness, you look at the, what was it, $7.5 billion TV rights deal that they signed over 7 years, just a couple of years ago. The first one ever that was going to be over $1 billion. You have the Big Ten, who's reported, at least in 2024, that they got more money per school payout thanks to the media rights deal than the SEC did. Yeah. And that's who you're going up against. And so I wasn't really sure when we first heard about this months ago where this really came from, because I looked around and I said that the Big Ten feels like they've done a really good job. And for the most part, I've been very supportive of Tony Petitti and what he's done to kind of put the Big Ten Conference in this spot. After how Kevin Warren kind of handled some of the things behind the scenes, Tony Petitti comes in with an executive mind, with the background obviously in Major League Baseball, but has dealt heavily with executives to where you sat there and said, you feel like they're in a really good spot going forward, to where you don't have to sign away 20 years of your life, essentially. And also, I get that you want to have this quick influx of cash, but if you've misspent your funds the previous 5 years, so let's say $140 million, give or take, goes to these universities with the same leadership 5 years ago,
Right.
spent it irresponsibly. What are they going to do in these next 5 years?
Spend even more irresponsibly.
Bingo. There's more money to spend irresponsibly. And so you think that it feels like a short-term, a Band-Aid to a long-term issue, because after these, give or take 5 years, just a hypothetical time frame there, you're going to have 15 years of saying, woe is me, we don't have enough money. But it's because of how you operated in those 5 years.
Mm-hmm. That absolutely stands out. I think UCLA comes to mind, right? A school that is now looking to pay between $60 and $80 million to move out of the Rose Bowl to break its lease early. UCLA
for no reason?
For really no great reason. They're taking a chance on themselves. I don't understand that. Jay didn't understand that. But think about UCLA, one of the 13 other schools in this proposal.
You're right.
If it's 60 million out of 110 million, okay, you're spending like 54-ish% of your one-time upfront infusion of cash just to break your lease, on top of being a university already operating in the red. Let's flip those numbers around. Okay, let's say it's 80 million to break your lease with the city of Pasadena, and you only get 100 million. That's simple math. 80% of your upfront money is gone.
Yeah.
Like that, because of something you didn't have to do. You only have 20 million of wiggle room for a football program that needs a lot of basketball program that should be one of the top 5 names and brands in the country.
Yeah.
That's going to need some support. A really good baseball team with a potential number 1 overall draft pick on it. Women's basketball improving. Volleyball's been fine. It's an all sports kind of school. You chew up 80 million of that because you want to. That speaks exactly to your point about the frivolity of spending and the leadership that who knows if you can trust it or not.
There's this phenomenon that's gone out, and the younger listeners will understand this. There's been a younger phenomenon talking about like with the Gen Zs, and there's a stereotypical term. It's called girl math that's put to it. That's what this feels like, in all honesty. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. This is what it feels like, though. Is it feels like the Gen Z phenomenon of math nowadays, to where, if I get $100 and if I spend 80 of it, I still get $20 because I never had the 80, and I get benefit out of it. So UCLA's it almost feels like UCLA would look at that using those hypothetical numbers and say, it's okay, because essentially we get $20 million of additional funds, and we get out of the lease, and we never even had that money to begin with. It's essentially we never had the 80 million. It was basically the private capital gave it to the Rose Bowl, and it was never on our hands. We don't have to worry about it. It's no big deal. My biggest thing with the UCLA, just as a sidebar, and the whole Rose Bowl, why do you think 50% of the visiting fans travel to your stadium?
Because it's a really cool
stadium.
Because
it is a staple of college football history. Is SoFi Stadium that? No,
it's not even that in the NFL.
You're not even in a spot geographically that you're sitting there going, we got weather to worry about. No, it was 70 degrees last week when Nebraska went there. There's a lot of Husker fans that would travel to watch Nebraska anywhere. But you don't think there's a few additional that would say, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's go to LA because it's going to be 75 degrees and let's get away from what usually is mid-30s, mid-40s at this time. Let's go ahead and get away from it. I did not understand it. You're just spending money just to spend money in the middle of a coaching search, in the middle of a time where you're going to need additional revenue. You're going to need additional investment. You're going to need additional resources to persuade a coach to come there. It's mind-boggling the way and the amount of how much money is spent from some of these powers.
The opportunity cost. Every dollar that you spend on breaking your lease is one less dollar that you can put to spending toward players.
Yeah.
Or you can use to pay off some previous debts that you have. Sutter Heyman Jewelers text line, we see you. We'll get to you here in just a sec. The other thing that stood out to me, Nick, just through this first part before we really get to Michigan and USC, is that Nebraska was listed in the others category. Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, 190 million proposed. USC, Oregon, 140 to 150 million proposed. And that leaves Nebraska in the 100 to 110. If that's not a wake-up call to Nebraska, who at the time of this show, at the time of these articles from Yahoo and USA Today being written, was among the 16 schools on board with, yeah, let's do this. We're in. We're fine with it.
Yeah.
Nebraska, if money is the issue, if you're behind, you're going to fall even further behind because you're on even-ish footing. I mean, with what you get from the Big Ten, same to Ohio State and Michigan. You got some ground to make up. This is only going to widen that chasm at the very top between you and, say, Ohio State, or between you and Oregon, two schools that we presume had more in the NIL realm than maybe Nebraska did. But if this isn't a wake-up call to Nebraska that you are now officially in the others category, there is no more living off your name. None at all. That's out the window. You're in the we got to make do with what we can camp if the Big Ten has its way.
Yeah, it is, and it's really unfortunate that the Big Ten feels this way about Nebraska. But I think
Nebraska did it to itself.
Bingo. There's that point there. The other part about this, just big picture conversation that we can talk about, is with them not including the TV partners in this. And Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti talked about this at Big Ten Basketball Media Day when we were there, Austin. He talked about how he hasn't included the TV partners in this conversation. You mentioned that a few minutes ago. It almost feels like they acknowledge, and by saying that, Tony Petitti indirectly acknowledged, in my opinion, that he does see how people are seeing this as a short-term payday loan, essentially. And then after the influx of cash, the $100 and some million that each institution is going to get, after that's been spent through, the Big Ten Conference, their TV deal, it was agreed to in 2022. Now, does it get up in 2030? I believe
so.
So 2030. So essentially, it's almost as if Tony Petitti and the rest of the powers that be inside the Big Ten Conference are sitting there going, let's go ahead and do this private capital deal now to basically bridge what we need from 2025 or 2026 to 2030 to really get us in a really strong position, make our conference the most valuable conference in the country.
A way it already is.
Yep. And then in 2030 or 2029, when they negotiate the new TV deal, they must have this idea in their mind that they're going to get some insane amount that takes them from 2030 to hypothetically 2040 going forward. And I just don't know if it's true, because we don't know what the landscape of TV is going to be at that time. Is streaming still going to be a thing? Are we still going to have to watch games on Peacock? Is CBS, who has to deal with a really crappy game this weekend, are they still going to want to do with the big deal with the Big Ten, or will they try to get back into the SEC market? There's so many unknowns for what it's going to look like landscape wise, not only directly within college football, but also just collegiate athletics and TV streaming, cable after 2029, that you don't really know what you're agreeing to.
Right.
Other than, hey, short-term wise, this is great for us because we love money and we love to spend it, and you're going to give us a lot of it.
402-464-5685. We'll reset the conversation here. Mississippi Mud Ducks has just got off work. Welcome into the show. What did I miss here? The Big Ten is about a week away from voting on the potential addition of $2.4 billion in cash from the University of California Pension Fund in exchange for a 10% stake in Big Ten Enterprises, a new LLC. Essentially, long story short, Tony Petitti and 16 decision makers of some level in the Big Ten like this $2.4 billion investment because it would provide stability in extending the Big Ten's grant of rights, but not the media deals, like Nick just said. It would better monetize Big Ten assets through this new LLC, Big Ten Enterprises. It'd be an immediate infusion of cash for struggling members, and it keeps big brands happy through uneven revenue distribution, similar to the ACC. And if you missed anything else, I invite you to listen back either to the podcast, just rewind the stream and catch up. Okay, so I said 16 out of the 18, Nick. Michigan and USC have been the holdouts here. Michigan, for the exact reason you said, it feels like a payday loan to bail out schools that are mismanaging their money or have mismanaged their money. USC doesn't like that this Big Ten Enterprises board would have weighted voting, again, to the people that are getting more of the money compared to the less amount of money. And the Big Ten Conference and Big Ten Enterprises would also sit on this board, not just the schools. Other areas of pushback from Michigan and USC, the board members at the schools haven't been given the full plan or the details. It's just been like an information-only meeting, and Michigan and USC have said this plan feels incomplete. There's got to be even more strings attached than what you're telling us. And it's not the Board of Regents or the Board of Trustees at these universities that are getting the final says. It's the presidents and the chancellors. And that has Michigan and USC worried, because you think about the role of like a president or a chancellor, a lot of it is that marketing, put on a good face, raise money for the university. What better way to make it look like you're doing your job? Hey, look at this. I just got us $100+ million up front. I'm doing my job. There's security for me. And like someone on the text line pointed out, probably get a big fat bonus involved with that as well, as opposed to a board of regents or a board of trustees that, sure, would probably like the money for the university, but is entrusted with the care of the university. Is this best overall, or is this just best right now with stuff we can foresee going wrong down the line?
It's so crazy. I mean, I was reading articles kind of preparing for this conversation and stuff and just getting a better background information on this. And the USA Today just earlier this week talked about or wrote an article, and this is literally the headline of the story. The Big Ten is letting the wolf in the door and they're selling their soul. But for what?
Mm-hmm.
When you have national media, and this is where you can read tea leaves and it's important for just to understand context. When you have national media entities basically talking about how, not caring, not holding back punches, about how poor of a framework deal this is for, what do they say in here?
For what reason? That's the real question.
But this is the most fascinating quote in this article. I give you financial stupidity. The Big Ten, the richest and most financially secure conference of all by a wide margin, is desperately trying to jump in bed with private equity in exchange for a piece of each school's valuable and ever-increasing media rights. And by jump in bed, I mean sell its soul. Once these private equity sharks, whose entire reason for being existent is to make money above all else, are allowed one foot in the door, the Big Ten will cease to exist as we currently know it. One foot becomes one more favor, and then another, and then the next thing you know, the Sharks are swimming in what was once an oasis. That is some incredible imagery, first of all, but it also paints an incredible picture from this fact of once you give them an inch, they're going to take a foot. And then a foot becomes a yard, and a yard becomes a mile, so on and so forth. You know how the saying goes.
That's some nice girl math, by the way.
Bingo. And it really is disappointing because as I've been supportive of Tony Petitti these last couple of years, it really feels like he's taken advantage of a lot of people in the offices, in athletic departments, who feel like maybe they're not ready for this ever-changing landscape of college athletics.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know where their fundraising is. They don't know their ability to raise NIL money. They don't know where they stand 99 times out of 100. And so they sit there, and he's kind of preying on the weak, if you will.
Or the confused, or the directionless,
yes,
the people that came into a bad spot.
The new athletic directors in the conference, the Jay Batt at Michigan States of the world, the Jim Smiths of Maryland in the world, even Rutgers and those types of institutions, and saying, hey, I know it's very confusing, but you know how we fix this? We get $140 million right off the bat. In addition to your $75 million that you're already going to get from your media rights. Doesn't take a genius to do the math there. Over $200 million just this year in value that you're going to be able to get.
Yeah.
That solves a lot of problems for the next 5 years, which then just understanding the current landscape of it all, a lot of these people won't be here in 10 years. They won't be in their current land spots in 10 years. So they sit there and go, heck yeah, man, if it makes me look good, if it gets me a job in the SEC, if it gets me a job at the next level,
Capitol Hill.
Yeah, wherever
something.
it is, great. Because guess what? In 10 years, when I'm not here and they're struggling, it's not my problem.
I don't have to take ownership for it.
Nope.
Some people might point back to me, but people will probably forget, well, everyone did it. You know, what were we supposed to do? Be left behind?
Yeah, were we supposed to be the third school that said no? We're still in the minority then. And that's where I wonder if some schools are sitting there going, look, maybe we don't like this, but we either are in the majority and we get the money, or we're in the minority and we don't get the money, and they still do it as a conference instead, either way. And if that's the case, then we might as well get the money. If they're going to do it with or without us, we might as well do it with them so we get the resources.
The Big Ten has, I don't want to say has been so magnanimous in its approach to these schools because, like, think about Maryland and Rutgers, right? Having to ease into the full media rights allowance. Oregon and Washington are going through that same thing right now. They're not full members when it comes to their share of the TV money. One of the proposals with this was that, okay, if you say no, will give you a 3 to 6 month grace period to opt in as full members. We'll let you see how it plays out. 3 to 6 months is not that much time.
No.
You will hear nothing bad in the first 3 to 6 months as both sides are ready and willing to make this work. It's going to be great. Hey, look at all these new projects that are being built. Hey, look at all these student athletes that are getting money. We signed this many to contracts. Our rev shares through the roof. And then the first year hits. And the second year, then you're 5 years down the road, and Big Ten Enterprises and this University of California pension fund keeps asking for more and more and more, and the schools control less and less and less.
And that's where I wonder, Austin, if when the new media rights deal with the TV companies and execs come up, these private equity sharks, as USA Today called them in their article earlier this week, is that going to devalue the deal, knowing that the TV companies have to work with Big Ten Enterprises, as they're calling it? And if it does, then this whole thing backfires
immediately,
because your whole thought process, if you're Tony Petitti, is that this, once again, this influx of cash, this infusion, gets you through the next short-term 5 years till 2030. And then you're able to sign a media rights deal for whatever the TV landscape looks like.
Call it $5 billion.
Yeah,
aggressively.
Is it $5 billion a year?
2.5. Let's just say $2.5 billion
a year. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Sure.
So we're sitting there going, yeah, you hope that gets you through the next 10 years. And then you say, at the end of that, we're talking 2039. Is Tony Petitti still the commissioner?
No,
I mean, not
no
a chance.
Shot.
Right. So it's just one of those things to where it's a lot of these corporate head people in corporate, big powers that be, that sit there and say, okay, you know what? How can I cushion my resume a little bit here to where if next step is a new job or next step's retirement, I'm either going out with a lot of money or I'm going out because I did something really, really good and I'm going to be able to get out of here before it turns really, really bad.
Couple more texts here to get to. Meal ticket. Too bad Nebraska doesn't have Notre Dame money and just be independent, have their own contract with a TV network, yada, yada. 8324. If you think the Big Ten officials don't like Nebraska now, imagine what would happen if a non-top tier or an other school votes no against this, which then goes into this, Nick. The Big Ten has threatened, okay, Michigan, USC, you don't have to opt in, but then come 2036, and this grant of rights, is supposed to be extended for the next 10 years. Yours is going to run out in 2036. You'll be looking for a new home. That, to me, feels like, number one, an incredibly empty threat. Those are two of your self-admitted top 5 brand schools that provide, even in your own opinion, Big Ten, a big chunk of the value for the rest of the conference. Even if Michigan and or USC were self-sustainable as an independent, number one, they would not be independent for long. Someone out there would scoop them up in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure there are other sports would go find another conference to play in even before football. Maybe football only is in the Big Ten and these other sports go, to an ACC or an SEC or Big 12 or, new Pac-12, what have you. But man, I can't imagine the Big Ten would actually follow through on its promise of having a conference without Michigan and USC.
Yeah.
What hollow talk. Those schools have to see right through that.
So here's the other part of this, and maybe this is just the naive bone in my body.
I didn't think you had one.
Right. Rutgers made the least amount of total revenue last year in the Big Ten Conference. According to USA Today, they were 42nd, or excuse me, it was Maryland, 43rd in the country. 43rd in the country. They made $107,526,374 of revenue. You can't operate an athletic department on that?
With that?
And so this goes back to who's spending your money. Now, Maryland went out, new athletic director. We know that. But I sit here in Nebraska last year, $143 million of revenue. You have people towards the top. Ohio State. Ohio State is the number one most valuable program in schools. Ohio State total revenue $252 million. Woo! Total expenses $225 million. That's still a $26 million profit without this.
And where's it going?
And now you're going to give them 140 more?
No, they'd get 190.
190 more?
So they'd have $225 million.
I'm telling you,
$15 million.
I'm telling you, this is the type of deal that's going to force a lot of local, whether it's journalists or whether it's just people that are around the program that get to be in those buildings, in those conversations. You're opening the door for a lot of really big questions that the decision makers and the ones that do spend the money aren't going to want to answer.
Yeah.
Because it's going to open the door for a lot of these of, okay, now we have 140 or 100 and some extra $1 million. How do you want to spend it? And then if the answer is not satisfactory and the results don't follow, guess what? You're gone. You're gone. And so once again, short-term wise, looks great. Everybody loves more money. It's going to be great. Nebraska's going to be able to do all this. Like, stadium renovations are going to be at an all-time high across the country because Big Ten schools are going to want to improve resources and improve facilities and stuff. And now they don't have to fundraise as much. But man, if it doesn't generate to wins, there's going to be a lot of questions asked. And the people that did spend the money aren't going to want to answer those questions.
And they will be able to get away with not answering those questions.
Because they're gonna leave. They're gonna drop like flies, and you're gonna be able to get away scot-free without any repercussions.
We've said something to this effect a couple different times, but I'm just going to end the segment on this. How much more money does the Big Ten need to win even more? How much more money do you need to win and set yourself up as the most financially secure? And to your point, it's one thing to have money, it's another to use it right.
Mm-hmm.
If the right people aren't in charge, all the money in the world doesn't make a difference, which will set the scene a little bit for a conversation we'll have. It's the two of us together. We got to talk baseball. We'll save it for 4:30 a few people, but it's why I'm not as mad at the Dodgers. Okay. Money is one thing. You got to know how to use it. We will talk MLB free agency and GM winter meetings. We will also talk MLB awards coming up at 4:30, but some movement in the college football playoff committee seems very notable. Meal ticket, your text about the Big 12 will lead us into that when we get back here to Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
This Black Friday, it is time to hit your goals before the new year even starts. At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, get 40% off our next 10-week challenge, plus 6 weeks for free to kickstart your fitness journey. Start training December 1st with kickboxing, strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxbeatlincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School, rolling right through hour one of the show. Austin Norman and Nick Sainert with you. Let's hit our starter Heyman Jewelers text line here to wrap up our previous conversation. Meal ticket, a couple things. In your guys' opinion, do you think Nebraska should look at going back to the Big 12? Do you think they would find the money there? Because I know they went to the Big 10 for money. Both all these issues, I just think going back to the Big 12 is safest. And then 83-24, Justin and Hickman. Accepting this deal is accepting your permanent position in your conference, makes it incredibly hard to work your way up the ladder. Nick, I'll give you the first word on this.
Yeah, I think both of them are right. I don't think Nebraska will ever go back to the Big 12. I don't think it makes any financial sense because as much as we're talking about how the Big 10 wants more money, they're still the richest conference in the country. And you want to be a part of it rather than not be a part of it, even if that is you're a middle of the road team in it. You still want to be a part of it because when it comes around to playoffs and other things like that, and you're in those conversations, if you're on the fringe, you are more notable in the big sport, football, right? Sure, in baseball, Big 12 probably carries a little more cachet and stuff like that, but you're talking about in certain in certain rooms having your logo connected and tied with the Big 10 conference logo. It's more valuable than it is not. I was telling you this during the break. It's shocking to me. And once again, I'm not in those conversations with the big money folks, but it's shocking to me the folks that feel like they can't run an athletic department on already $140 million, or so, close to even if you are at $95 million, you feel like you can't run an athletic department. Winning does solve a lot of problems. I was telling you during the break, college football playoff, the first two rounds, you get an additional $4 million per round. You don't have to use that towards expensive. You already get, so the college football playoff pays out $4 million to each institution, and then an additional $3 million per each round for travel expenses. $3 million, that is. So hypothetically and realistically, Ohio State last year, who made it to the national championship, just off of performance bonuses from the college football playoff, made an additional $16 million because in the semifinals and championship games, each institution gets an additional $6 million instead of $4 million. So if you're in those conversations, and yes, this deal might benefit some of the lesser profitable institutions, but at the end of the day, if you're in those conversations of the college football playoff, you're looking at performance bonuses. You're looking at already making more money than what you were already expecting.
That bring back the money you just spent on your roster.
Bingo.
At some point, it's going to pay for itself if you make it far enough, or at least get close, where you only have to, paper over a couple $1 million here or there instead of drum up and gen up the whole thing from scratch, kind of like Texas Tech. We'll see how that pays off for them.
You can use that $16 million for rev share in a heartbeat, man.
Oh, yeah.
And Ohio State, I'm sure that's part of their mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it a lot easier for us to obviously the rev share to allocate those funds where we know we need to put them. Maybe keep them all in football for that $16 million, right? Because you got to divvy it up between all of them. But then, hey, that alleviates pressure off of our collective.
Yeah.
And it's just, it all works in sync in the big money institutions.
Cubs on our starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Going back to the Big 12 would be the most cowardly move, and it would make Nebraska a laughingstock. I'll phrase it this way, as I tried to think through that before reading it. Nebraska going back to the Big 12, just opting out of the Big 10, like Nick said, is not going to happen. They are where they are. The best case scenario, in my opinion, for Nebraska, Nick, is college football, whether it's the Super League with just the Big 10 and the SEC, or you do involve the Power 4, the Power 5, the top 128 schools, the top 70 schools, whatever your breakdown is. In that scenario, the best case for Nebraska is to go back to playing, even if it's not by name the Big 12, a Big 12 style schedule. Think about it in baseball terms as well. Nebraska could or should be like the Cubs, a geographically advantageous division, and should have more money more consistently than anyone else in the division.
Yeah.
Chicago's a big city. The Cubs have the history. They're a big name. Nebraska, sure, Lincoln's not the biggest city, but you compare it to Ames, Iowa, Columbia, Missouri, Lawrence, Kansas, Manhattan, Kansas, shoot, even Norman, Oklahoma in some cases, right? If Nebraska was in a conference that made more sense geographically and could dominate that division where everyone's revenue is going to be the same, and then you can flex your relative financial strength relative to those teams, when college football gets to that point, I think Nebraska will be in a better spot for on-field results than it is right now.
I even think, it's also important just to remember there's pieces of the Big Ten Conference that aren't full members. There's institutions that aren't full members. They're not getting the full share of the media rights deal. They're not getting a full share. Oregon is one of them.
Oregon and Washington right now.
You don't hear Oregon and Washington complaining. Like, this is what they signed up for, because it's better, even if you're taking less money, it's better to be a part of a notable conference, the best conference in collegiate athletics across the board, than it is to be on the outside looking in. That's just the way it is. And so, and give credit to, Brett Yormark and those guys at the Big 12, because they've tried to do everything they can to stay in this arms race, but it is clearly
by looking to what?
Yeah.
Private equity.
Exactly. And they've stayed away from it, though. They've stayed away for the most part. And I just, I also wonder what this does for the future of super conferences. Like, does this make the Big 10 less attractive for the SEC to potentially partner with in the future? Because they have this private equity deal, and these private equity folks are not going to just go away. They're not going to say, "Oh, we understand you signed essentially a 20-year deal with us, but hey, we'll let you off after 10 because we know you want to join the SEC." No, they're going to look at it, who, once again, their main priority is to make money. They're going to look at it and say, well, if we bring the SEC in, that just makes us more money.
Right. Just on that point on super conferences real quick, saw this from Ralph Russo, writing for The Athletic, used to be at the AP. Texas A&M could make the SEC championship game without playing Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, or Vanderbilt. Georgia Tech can make the ACC championship without playing Miami, Louisville, Virginia, SMU, and Duke. And Ohio State can make the Big Ten title game without playing Oregon, Indiana, Iowa, and USC. So there's that point against super conferences. While we're on the topic of the Big 12 and on the outside looking in, that's Baylor AD Mack Rhoades right now. Some stuff has come up regarding a sideline incident with Mack Rhoades at Baylor, and a tight end, Michael Trigg is the guy's name. Anyways, Ross Dellinger of Yahoo reports there are new allegations surfacing this week around Mack Rhoades, and that they're related to a violation of Baylor, a faith-based Baptist university's policies and practices. Baylor, of course, declined comment. Not long after that, yet Mack Rhoades steps down from his position as College Football Playoff Selection Committee chair. He was the voice. He was the one out front. He says, nope, you know what? With everything going on, I can't do it.
He was this year's Bubba Cunningham.
He was this year's Bubba Cunningham, indeed. So your 13-member committee now down 2, as I believe it was Randall Cunningham was the other guy that stepped down earlier. But those positions have been filled. It would be Mark Harlan on the committee and Hunter Yurachek, in the middle of a coaching search himself, elevated to College Football Playoff Selection Committee chair. Fascinating movement as we've had 2 rankings released in the college football playoffs. Chair is out. They're finally back up to at least even membership of 13. There's a lot going on. I got a couple more hats to leave at the door now, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, Rich Clark, who we've talked to before.
Friend of the station,
Rich Clark, who is very, very high up in the CFP College Football Playoff Selection Committee. He released a statement that said, "We are deeply appreciative of Mac Rhodes' leadership and service as chair of the CFP Selection Committee this season. Mac has informed us of his decision to step down for personal reasons, and our thoughts are with him and his family during this time. We are pleased to announce that Hunter Yurachek, as you mentioned, will assume the role of Selection Committee chair effective immediately. Hunter's experience, integrity, and commitment to the game make him exceptionally well-suited to lead the committee as it continues its important work throughout the remainder of the season." I am furious if I am an Arkansas fan. I will leave the floor to you, Austin. I'm furious if I'm an Arkansas football fan.
First of all, it's Randall McDaniel, not Randall Cunningham. That was my bad.
That's right.
I'm going to step down before. If I'm an Arkansas fan, on the one hand, at least you got your guy in the room.
Yeah.
Right? You think about Nebraska and some of the conversations that Troy Dannon has been, and he's on this very same committee. But it's a little different for Nebraska right now. His head coach is locked up. His basketball programs are off to good starts. His volleyball team is rolling. This is really something Troy Dannon can focus his time and attention on. At the very least, get ears and eyes on the selection committee process. But if you're Arkansas, you're in the SEC, you're trying to fight your way up. You've been mediocre for a while now. Your AD just hired a big-name basketball coach, thanks to some really big outside yet inside help from the Tyson Chicken people and the Walmart people forking over the money for John Calipari. But without trying to go all doomerism or, this moment is the biggest moment in the history of ever in college sports, kind of feels like an important time to get a coaching hire right.
Yeah.
With the way things are trending in college athletics. And so if I heard all of a sudden, here's my athletic director, he's got to take time off of campus, tells me one of two things. Either Arkansas fans are worried that he's going to be distracted, or is there an outside possibility that Arkansas has already agreed in principle with its next head coach without knowing who it is right now?
It's interesting. You know who I was actually thinking at right off the bat, who they would put as the chair of this committee?
Nice Mike.
Mike Riley. Could you have imagined?
Oh yeah, well, we just really like the way they played last week, and they're just representing the university really well, and
so
they're deserving number one.
That's great, right? I was surprised that, because I feel like, if I always feel weird about an acting AD being the chair, like being the guy. Now, how much different is it to be the chair versus just another or another committee member? I don't know. It'd be a question, I guess, for Troy Dannon. I wish we could talk to Troy Dannon, and he probably wouldn't be able to tell us much, but it would be fascinating to say, okay, so does this change anything? And the answer is going to be no. He'll say no, but internally, do they all have a group chat between their community members and being like, all right, here we go. Like, Hunter, you're the guy now. And obviously that can't change anything. It's fascinating though, just because you have already had committee or rankings been released, and then it's also at a school like Baylor that's had their own fair share of issues years and years and years.
The discussion, the debate, the repercussions, I think, of being moved up to chair are much less internal than they are external. You brought up Bubba Cunningham.
Yeah,
we know that if your team, your school is getting brought up in a discussion, you get recused. You're out of the room. You don't listen to the conversation. Bubba Cunningham was not in the room for the discussions about North Carolina.
Yeah.
But number one, him being in the picture is, okay, well, we don't want to let Bubba down. And number two, he's the face. He's the one that had to go on TV, on Selection Sunday, on CBS, the second or third biggest day of the year in college basketball, Selection Sunday, and be the one to explain, hey, here's why my mediocre team got into the tournament and these other teams didn't. Even though he had nothing to do with that decision when it came to the conversation and the voting and the ranking, he still had to be the one to talk about it. That's what this is about, right? If it was, Mike Riley, if it was, say, Troy Dannon sitting there, Hunter Yurachek now with Arkansas, obviously not in any danger of making the college football playoff, but whether or not you're actually involved in the decision-making process is almost secondary because you are the face for all the questionable decisions that people are going to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been a perfectly transparent process as much as they try.
No.
People on the outside looking in can poke holes in pretty much every ranking the college football playoff committee has done. Fair or not, that falls on the chair to handle the messaging because you can't speak personally. It's not about what you think. It's about this is what this committee voted to do, and I have to be the one to put on a brave face and own this, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, and you have to be able to, you get one shot at defending your committee. You get one shot at being able to defend, this is why the committee chose this. The reason I said Mike Riley, he was on it, he was on it last year. Now he's on it this year again. He's on it for the second year in a row. That's the only reason I kind of brought up his name. It's just because, and he's not actively coaching. Like you need somebody to do a new job in the heat of the moment, in the pinch. Yeah, go get somebody that's not doing a whole lot right now. So I would say Mike Riley. But
the media types that I follow on Twitter voted for one of their own, in Ivan Maisel, who's been a longtime college football media member, has done the media training and everything. Obviously, they come with their own bias. Hey, we like this guy. Let's support him for this. I don't know. It's just fascinating all around. So, best of luck to Mac Rhodes with whatever's going on, but that university does not need more.
Do you remember? Okay, so with that, what's Dave Aranda's doing? What's the outlook for Dave? Maybe this is our 5:30 conversation, but
Wisconsin defensive coordinator 2.0, Dave Aranda.
What happened to Jim Leonard? Bring him back.
Is he with Denver still?
Is he with Denver or was he with the Packers?
I thought he moved on from the Packers. I thought he is the defensive pass game coordinator and assistant head coach for the Denver Broncos.
Wow. Is he an NFL guy? Is he an NFL head coach material? Like, could we see him be the Giants guy? Not Giants guy, but I mean,
I don't know.
That feels weird.
It really does.
He had so much buzz to go to Wisconsin.
Players were all about it.
Players were all about it. All fans wanted was Jim Leonard to Wisconsin. It didn't happen. I mean, I was shocked when it didn't happen. And they played fine under him.
Yeah, that's all right.
Jim Leonard.
Played out the string at the very least. We'll go to break. Short segment, $30 to Wings and Rings to give away, and then Thirsty Thursday, Kevin Myers, Cork and Bottle. Next on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time, Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of Old School here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Boss Norman, Nick Sainer, the crew. Kevin Meyer will be in momentarily. We've got $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to give away, though.
Are we playing the game?
We're not playing the game. No. I'm not putting you on the hot seat. I'm still
Sad.
trying to workship a name and a format with Jay, but when he only works part-time, it's kind of hard to sit down.
Well, is Jay willing to do that?
He's done shootout before and generally has a good time with it, but
Yeah.
basketball's secondary for that. So we're trying to do something more football themed.
Yeah.
We're trying to come up with the right format and everything. We've tried it workshopping a couple times, but either way, we have $30 to Wings and Rings to give away. Really appreciate our friends just down the street from us at 68th and O. Nick, maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. We will give you a chance to guess the number. Text line will go over, under, or push Nick's answer. Nick, how many steals did Notre Dame's Hannah Hidalgo record in last night's game?
Oh, I saw this. Okay, I'm going to
remember? Do you remember?
Okay. I do remember the exact number. So I'm going to put a number close.
Now just say the number if you know it, and then we'll see if people think it actually is exact or not. Because push is an answer.
Oh, well then I don't know the number. I just joking around with people. I will go 14.
Okay, Nick says 14. Over, under, or push an NCAA record 14 steals.
Was I right?
For Hannah Hidalgo.
Did I actually remember it on the dot?
We will do texter number 4 with the right answer, over, under, or push. We'll not reveal that. We will talk more about this game in a minute, Nick, but briefly.
Yeah. Husker
basketball last night.
Yeah. I mean, women's basketball, man, they took care of business. I was saying this with AD this morning. It's really fun to see what's going on with like Britt Prince truly taking it over. I mean, it is. It's really fun to see it. I like the guard play that they have with Britt, with Callan. Logan Nisley was hurt last night. She had a boot on, so she did not play. I thought it was a really, really, really impressive performance by Nebraska women's basketball in a year where they haven't beaten them in the last four ties.
It was certainly impressive. Nebraska looked quicker, faster, more athletic than Creighton did. And to be fair, it is kind of a rebuilding year for Creighton. They graduated a lot over the last couple of years. Credit to Nebraska for taking advantage of that. Since we got to go to break, we'll give the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings to Derek. Derek on our text line, you win. The answer was 16 steals for Hannah Hidalgo of Notre Dame. 44 points and 16 steals in an 85-58 victory for the Fighting Irish over Akron. We will talk more college football coming up in hour 3 of the show. We got Thirsty Thursday and then some baseball chatter, some baseball conversation. Lots going on. It's the GM meetings right now. He's Nick Sainer. I'm Austin Norman. Thirsty Thursday next on The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock. Perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
All ticketing options for the 2026 Love Nebraska season are now available. Single match tickets start as low as $16, even cheaper if you want to bring a group. Don't miss your chance to see professional stars like Jordan Larson and Lexi Rodriguez in action this season. Purchase your preferred ticketing option today by visiting lovbneb.com/tickets.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Solid 8.5. Solid 8.5. That one's always perfect.
Oh, cold, crisp, refreshing. Found only here, 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com. It is Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Uncle Kev, a happy Thursday to you and yours. How are you?
What's happening, nephews? We got little Nikki in the building. I'm super excited about this. And Austin, of course, you always.
Yeah, you're here too. Man.
Yeah.
Uncle Kev, I paid you a visit a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And so I tried.
This is different than the other visit they paid me. Okay, all right,
easy.
Picking up.
Remind what I got. Do you remember off the top of your head?
Oh,
this will be so impressive. It was a peanut butter stout.
Oh, that's right.
And it was exceptional.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Very good. Very good. Well, we're like it or not, we're in the holidays, right? So 2 weeks to Thanksgiving. Next week is Beaujolais Nouveau Day. That's always a very exciting time in the wine business. And so we're just going to, I've said this before on the air, but Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And it's because basically there's no expectations to spend a whole bunch of money. It's perfectly acceptable to eat too much and then go take a nap and no one's giving you the business. There's lots and lots of football on TV. There's more wine consumed on Thanksgiving Day than any other day in this country. And so, I mean, what's not to love about Thanksgiving?
Nothing. There's nothing not to love about
That's
Thanksgiving.
why it's my favorite.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I will say, Nick, I do have to give you some grief right before we went on air.
Yes.
You did mess with your palate a little bit. Was that your energy stinger?
It was not. So I make my own version of the energy stinger, but it's not important. But yes, it's strawberry watermelon flavor. And I finished my drink as soon as we got back on air for a moment.
The definitely is not going to set this up very well. So take a sip and then just start over. And then take another sip. We're doing the wine first because I also don't think the beer is going to set up this wine very well.
Talk us through the wine.
Talk us through the wine. Well, we're in a bye week, and so basically these are we're going to go wines that go well with Thanksgiving dinner. And this is even though it's an American holiday, this is actually a French wine, and it's called Brot Esprit Côte de Rhône. And where Côte de Rhône is the southeastern part of France. They can use up to 13 different grape types to make this wine from. And what's
I thought
also,
there were just three.
There's the big three. You know, so
green, red, and purple.
We're not talking about LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh. We're talking about a different big three.
Ray Allen, the
GSM blend, or the Grenache Syrah Mourvedre. And in that scenario, I think LeBron would be the Syrah. The let's see, I would probably have to put D Wade the Grenache, and then I already forgot
Chris Bosh.
I give him the Mourvedre, and
so GSM. Are you saying GSM is Dwayne Wade's team, not LeBron's team?
Well, the thing is it's not necessarily in that order, and so the reason I put it that way is that the Grenache is a little lighter on its feet. It's a little brighter. It's sort of organizing the show.
Sure.
The Syrah has a peppery taste. It's a little more full-bodied, and it's going to back you down into the paint. The Mourvedre is actually a very thick-skinned grape, but they don't use as much of it. But it's there to round everything out, provide a complementary affect to the entire team of flavors, and so therefore, when you blend those together, you get a wine that is among the world's most versatile. It goes well with everything. And the great thing about Thanksgiving, you've got so many different things hitting the table. You've got your turkey, you've got your stuffing, you've got your potatoes, you've got your gravy, your rolls. I mean, and I love a homemade cranberry sauce, and I know I'm in the minority about cranberry sauce, but mine is legit. So anyway, that's where we're at.
I really like this. Walk us through what is going on at the Meyer Thanksgiving buffet. What's on the table? What are you making today or this year?
With the bird, I go 2-day brine. Okay. Then so you pull it out of the brine, you pat it dry. Then I rub the entire thing down, both cavities and the exterior, with olive oil, and then give it a nice healthy coating of dry rub. And that's my own secret recipe on the dry rub.
Ooh. Not found at Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Not found at Meyer's Cork and Bottle. In all honesty, I take 3 or 4 different dry rubs and I mix them together and I call it mine. So
it's okay. It's yours. It's yours.
And then I'll take chopped celery, chopped apples, chopped carrots, and chopped onion and stuff the cavities with that. Then you take an orange and you chop it in half, and that's your cap on both the top and the bottom, right? Then you pin it closed, and then it goes on the Traeger for, I would say, gosh, it's probably going to be a good 3 hours, 3-4 hours. Mm-hmm. And then I'll pull it, put it in the bag with a little bit of flour just to keep it from sticking, and then finish it off in the oven. What that does, that collects all the juice. It crisps the skin. And then when it's ready, you just let it sit for a good half hour before you carve it. And then I'll collect all that juice in the bottom. I'll baste the carved meat with it. Also puts a fair amount in the gravy, depending on how much juice we've got. And that's my take on the bird.
Do you have any Thanksgiving failure stories?
I actually had a tray with the full bird on it that was like overflowing with juice, and spilled that all over myself and all over the floor. But that's about the only thing I can remember. Maybe there was a time I drank too much, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that'll happen. Okay, we need the rest of the spread though. Obviously, your homemade cranberry sauce, which does sound incredible to your credit. But
so you take fresh whole cranberries and you boil them in a Belgian raspberry beer, and then you add
sold at Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Sold at Meyer's Cork and Bottle. It's called a framboise. And then you add some sugar and some grated orange zest, and you just let that boil until those cranberries are soft, and then it naturally gelatinizes all by itself. So that's my cranberry sauce. And then if you mash potatoes,
plain Jane mashed potatoes.
No. These are seasoned up. We've got lots of garlic, salt in there, perhaps some herbs, lots of salt and pepper, and then of course lots of butter, and then homemade mushroom gravy, and that's about what I do. Now,
I'm glad you said the gravy. My wife does not go for gravy on her mashed potatoes.
Oh, I pour the gravy over everything.
That was to say, yeah, you smother it.
Yeah, heck yeah. And then sometimes you use your roll as like your
sops it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's almost like your fork or your spoon. But
plain like regular white roll. Are we doing like sweet roll? What's the wheat
either
roll?
Or? I'm kind of more of a white roll. I don't really like the sweet rolls per se, but I'm not against it. I'll eat it.
How do you feel about people and family? We'll get back to the alcohol in a second.
All right.
How do you feel about people that don't do traditional turkey dinners? Do you have any strong feelings? Are you one of those people that are like, no, it's Thanksgiving, you have to do this type of food?
I'm always a you do you, I'll do me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel like they're missing out, but if it's not something that they prefer, you have every right to eat what you feel is best.
Because approximately how many people are going to be at your
This
shindig?
just be a small one.
Okay.
We're only doing about an 11-pound turkey, although we're doing round 1 this Sunday. We're doing a Friendsgiving at the house, so we're actually doing it twice. And then, but the actual Thanksgiving is only going to be about 6 or 8 of us.
Okay,
there we go.
Gotcha. Because I got yelled at on the text line years ago because I let the people know that we did a taco bar a couple of years ago at my family's Thanksgiving because there's like 35 of us. There's like 35 of us. So it's like,
Okay.
hey, everybody
Okay.
bring a crock pot full of meat and all the stuff for tacos, and you'll be good to go. But then I got,
Interesting.
I got absolutely destroyed on the text
Call
line.
it a muchas gracias.
I did. We just called it Thanksgiving and spending time with family.
There we go. Okay. Last
wrong
thing
with
then
that.
on the Thanksgiving, the dessert situation.
Yes.
What do you do?
Oh, I'm a big pie guy.
Mm.
I love a good
Next Twitter handle when this one gets stolen by the Russians.
could be big pie guy. My mom makes the most delicious homemade pecan pie. I like pumpkin. I don't love pumpkin.
Yeah.
A really good made from scratch cherry pie is always kind of one of my favorites. My daughter makes a hellacious blueberry lemon.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
so yeah. Or even like a French silk, like a chocolate.
Oh, great pie. All right, on the wine,
Okay.
it can pair well with anything.
Yes.
It was very. This is going to be really bad. I mean, really amateur of me to say. Real neutral. Like it wasn't super harsh. It didn't have a ton of that bitter wine flavor. It wasn't dry, but it also wasn't too sweet. It was very neutral, right in the middle.
And I think that's part of what makes it so versatile.
Yeah.
Is that there isn't anything about it that just overwhelms you.
Yeah.
It just tastes good. It feels good on the palate. You do
Smooth.
get those. Yeah. It's a very smooth style. You get a little bit of the bright cherry from the Grenache. You get a little bit of the peppery component from the Syrah, and then a little bit of oomph from the Mourvedre. What's also interesting is that the French will actually blend in like small percentages of white grape in the wine. So, like 1% of either the most prolific grapes are called Marsanne and Roussanne, but they also do a little bit of a grape called Viognier. And so it's just a unique wine. They bring a lot to the table in terms of value. So in the Rhone wines, you're not paying so much for the history and the prestige of where it comes from. You're paying for more or what's in the bottle. So you can find a good Côte de Rhone for $20, and it's going to do well with anything that you're serving. So
That's going to punch above its weight class.
indeed.
That's awesome. Kevin Meyer, Myers Cork and Bottle, 13th and South, in with us here for Thirsty Thursday. We're moving on to the beer. What are we working with here, Kevin?
So we're going to dive straight into the holiday beers. So this is called Slay Queen, which play on words, SLEIGH. And this is from Crooked Stave Brewing. And this is a holiday ale spiced with cinnamon and nutmeg.
That's cinnamon.
Yep. And it should taste like a holiday.
You can
like a holiday, like
Or like
Christmas,
Christmas.
or like
Christmas.
Easter holiday.
Yeah,
A winter holiday,
Okay.
Christmas.
the cinnamon punches you. I mean, in a good way, and right off the bat, just by smelling it.
Oh, it'd be really good with that.
Oh, interesting.
You like
Oh.
the molasses cookies?
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say
Yeah.
some vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, you could do that
Ooh.
too. Yeah.
Just vanilla ice cream.
But those molasses cookies where you got a little bit of the crunchy sugar on top,
Yeah.
and they're a little bit gooey.
yes,
Yeah. That-
the pieces of sugar.
yeah.
It go really well with
They
this.
crunch a little bit when you take a bite.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're talking.
How about
Yeah.
the imagery by 3 radio guys?
That's
This is the fireball of beers.
I can see it a little bit.
Not quite to like the same level of cinnamon punch, but you get it enough. Like, okay, yeah, there's a little bit there. The nutmeg comes through.
I was gonna say,
But
I'm
I
not
love your pairing ideas. Sign me up.
I'm not a
yesterday.
big nutmeg guy, but this tastes well. Like so great people at the mill. Like the nutmeg just isn't for me. Like on coffee drinks and stuff.
fair.
But it doesn't overpower you because you get the cinnamon right off the bat to start. And I think a lot of times maybe nutmeg, if there's too much of it, can overpower everything else. This is really, really good. I like this a lot.
The nice thing about it is that it still tastes like a beer. It's not sweet.
Right.
And so you get the baking spice flavors without the sugariness. And so it still tastes like a beer. And I mean, it tastes like Christmas. It just literally tastes like Christmas.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, it does have the beer flavor on the back end. Like after you swallow it, you can still taste the beer flavor of it.
It's interesting you say that because actually what's sticking with me is more of that baking spice component.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because I'm looking out for it, but I got more of the beer up front. And then as I let
Whoa.
it sit, that's when I still get some of that cinnamon and nutmeg just kind of hanging around.
That's
It
180
does.
for me. What would you say? You're the deciding vote.
I'm more in Austin school of thought here. Well, I'm those baking spices. That's what we refer to in the wine world as the finish.
Yes,
and those are the lingering flavors that are left in your mouth after you've consumed it, and you definitely get a pronounced cinnamon nutmeg finish, maybe even a little bit of clove in there as well. But
sure.
Delicious and fun and kind of embracing the holidays. And, gosh, time has just gone so fast. I can't believe 2025 is like, I mean, we're halfway through fourth quarter. Like, we got 6 weeks left. I'm like, holy moly, how is that even possible? So
49 days left of 2025, Uncle Kev.
That's crazy.
You know what?
Does Nebraska score 49 more points in the regular season?
I'm going to say yes.
I will go on the other side of that and say no.
If Nebraska scores 49 points, I think they're 2-0.
I do too. Uncle Kev, you know what I thought of when I tried this beer?
What?
I thought of when you are forced as a family activity to make a gingerbread house.
Okay.
This is what you drink to get you through the gingerbread house making process.
It does have a little bit of gingerbread sort of taste. So
that's very specific. I know.
Right. My problem is I would always eat most of my building materials, shall you say.
I don't know. You can never be too safe though with the pre-made gingerbread house stuff that you can buy from like Walmart and everything. You don't know how long those candies have been sitting.
A lot of times you can tell. It's like if it tastes like a button that fell off your shirt, probably shouldn't eat that. But
you only have a short window to eat that stuff anyways, because once you get it put together and it sits out, like you got to get it gone like a day or two.
I don't think I've ever consumed a gingerbread house after I've made it.
No. I always consume it while I'm making it, and then I get about halfway through construction before I basically make myself sick on a sugar high, and yeah, so it takes a lot of patience that I no longer possess.
But you did possess it at one point.
I did. I was actually an architecture major for my first 2 years in college, and so I had to build a ton of models from scratch. And
Were you like the spaghetti and marshmallows towers guy?
No. This was legit. Like, I mean, we're talking fundamental structural art basically is what it was. And I got pretty good at it, but then I got burnt out as well. So then I had to go over to the J school.
Hey, nothing wrong with the J school.
Hey, absolutely.
Do you ever drive downtown or just in a city and go, man, what could have been?
A little bit.
I mean, you got a great career. I mean, everything's great right now. Shout out to Myers.
I enjoy what I do. It's certainly, every job has its pluses and minuses, but what you can actually build and what you can creatively imagine usually don't meet unless you've got some miracle client with unlimited funds. And so you have to exercise your creative muscle in smaller doses and go with what's more practical. And so that part of it is probably would be the challenge.
Yeah,
I guess. So, but no, I'm glad I didn't go to school for 10 more years. I can tell you that. So that was the big reason why.
Well, tell us what's coming up, what's going on at the shop right now. You got any good sales, anything that we need to know about?
Absolutely. So Turkey Day sales starts next Wednesday. Beaujolais Nouveau arrives on Thursday. That is always the third Thursday in November or the week before Thanksgiving. And is a big time in the wine world. I'm going to bring it in next Thursday, and we'll talk all about Beaujolais Nouveau and the history and how it got started and why it works with your Thanksgiving meal. But like I said before, there's more wine consumed on Thanksgiving Day in this country than any other day of the year. And the best place to get it is at Myers Cork and Bottle. And we're going to have 7,500 different wines on sale beginning Wednesday. And so it'll be a great time to stop in, stock up, and come see your old Uncle Kev.
You know where to find me on Wednesday afternoon. Uncle Kev, question for those that might want to gift wines. How is there a way to ship wines like for out-of-state family? What's the way to go about that if they're interested in coming down to Myers and then shipping it away?
Unfortunately, individuals cannot ship themselves.
Gotcha.
However, we are licensed, have the proper shipping license to do so, and can help people out with that.
There it is.
This was America.
This is America, but it's a regulated industry, so there are some rules.
What rapper sang the song "This Is America"? Do you know, Austin?
Wasn't that Kendrick?
It might have been Kendrick.
Kendrick
said "This is America."
What
are these running for, Uncle Kev?
So the Esprit Côte d'Aron.
It was Kendrick. No, actually, it's Donald Glover. Childish Gambino. My bad.
Those are $20, and then $22, and then the Crooked Slave Queen. I want to say go for about $3.50 a can.
Oh, geez, not
and
bad.
And we have
at all.
them in 4-packs.
Not bad at all. So $20 for a really good wine.
22.
$22. Yes, sorry.
But there are other Cote de Rone that we have that are only $20.
Yeah, those are really good.
And for $7, you can get through building a gingerbread house.
Indeed.
You need more than one. So
that's right.
Kevin Meyer,
it's a stupid multi-hour process.
Appreciate you as always, Kev.
Thanks, gentlemen.
We'll go to break. More of Old School on the other side.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big thanks, Kevin Meyer, Myers, Cork, and Bottle for swinging by, talking with us here on Thirsty Thursday. As always, Austin Norman and Nick Sainer back with you here, 402-464-5685. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can. Other important number for you to know belongs to Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Give them a call today for more information at 402-430-3852, or you can visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. You can learn about their free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything. They are still keeping their prices affordable, locally family-owned, with their own team of installers. Great people down there at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Shout out Gary and the crew down there in Hallam.
Gary's hanging out. I just got off the phone with Gary 2 days ago. He's hanging out in Florida. He answered the phone. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Nick?" And I go, "Hey." I was like, "Gary, what are you up to?" And he goes, "I'm sitting on the beach in Florida right now." And I said, "Oh, well, when are you back in town?" And he goes, "Well, next week we go down to the Keys." And I was like, "Well, what's going on?" Heartland, Nebraska Windows. Great people.
Really appreciate them. Big shout out to the folks at Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Got a bit of a window into the mindset of some Major League Baseball general managers. It's not the official winter meetings. It is Major League Baseball's general manager meetings. Nick, some deals maybe not getting ironed out this week, but certainly being talked about. Lots to get to on the Royals front. They are pursuing an upgrade at second base and probably a starting outfielder. It will come at the expense of some starting pitching for them. But let's jump into first Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Career Met. Has been there his whole career after a successful career, obviously, in college at the University of Florida. Mets let him hit free agency.
Yeah.
A guy that has been a cornerstone, a pillar, a constant, really good for them, hasn't really had a down year. Maybe some years he's been closer to average, but hasn't ever really been bad for the Mets. They said, nope, you know what? We can't come to a deal with you. We'll make you an offer in free agency, but we'll go from there. Man, I think about a team across the city. They could use a first baseman, a left-handed hitting first baseman, to utilize that short porch.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a team in Boston that could use a first baseman. Pete Alonso better have a pretty decent market. He's really a bat-only first baseman, but that's pretty good. And I'm really curious to see what the market looks like for a guy like the polar bear.
You're right. I think and we're not talking Nash Hutmaker, when we're talking polar bear, I think it's interesting because this is a guy that 3 of the last 4 years, he's had over 100 RBIs in his season as well. And so it's a lot to get to, right? I think this is going to be an interesting free agency because I think in addition to Pete Alonso's market, corner outfielders, and they've said at the winter meetings that outfield depth is going to be something that a lot of organizations are going to be looking for and paying high price for them. And so I bring that into the conversation to say there's a lot of teams that have established first basemen that can play every day that might have some outfielders to give away, and you might be able to make a swap and benefit both people and both sides. And I just think that with, obviously not with Pete Alonso, but with Pete Alonso specifically with the free agency stuff, correct me if I'm wrong, he re-signed with them a few years ago, or he did a player option a few years ago.
He got that little extension that essentially just bought out his arbitration.
That's what it was. And so there was commitment, though. There was re-upped and verified commitment from both sides. And then now they don't go forward with him. I think this is more of a New York Mets issue. Like, consistently, they go out and they're big players in free agency for a lot of notable faces. And Pete Alonso's been a lifelong Met, obviously, but
Rookie of the Year 2019, led baseball in homers with 53 of them, 7th in the MVP, finished top 10 in MVP twice already. And here's the thing, the fewest games he's played in a full season,
bingo,
152. Incredibly durable, will show up every day. Now, not a hugely physical demanding position at first base.
No.
But that's a star, maybe not superstar, but certainly a star that delivers for you night in, night out.
And even if he doesn't want to go forward with first base, as he's now, what is it? This will be his
age 31.
Yeah, his 8th year, his age 31 season. I mean, you can talk about how just be a DH. He's a bat. That's what you're bringing him, and that's also the name of the game now, right? We know it, right? The name of the game now is in the regular season home runs. I think this postseason though showed that it's still a pitcher's ball game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I see the value of bullpen help really show up in the postseason.
Let's get to this from our friend Dan from Canopy Street Market. Vinny Pasquantino is better. Fits Kansas City like a glove. Vinny Pasquantino is probably a better defender than Pete Alonso, but Pete Alonso's a better bat. Because you have to factor in the whole season. Vinny's a good hitter. Vinny is still entering his prime, but Pete Alonso's OPS plus is 147, 122, 133, 146, 123, 122, 144. That's absolutely incredible. I got to get Vinny's numbers pulled up, but I feel very confident off the top of my head that Vinny does not have a season like Pete Alonso's had 2 or 3 of already. And I love the guy. I love the Pasquatch. I mean, he's so great for the clubhouse.
Bingo.
I don't think the Royals would imagine trading a guy like Vinny Pasquantino unless they absolutely had to. But I did see a proposed trade if the Red Sox want to spend their money on bringing Alex Bregman back or pursuing Bo Bichette in the division to stick at second base if Christian Campbell's not ready. Would the Red Sox trade from their outfield depth Jarren Duran to the Royals in exchange for Vinny Pasquantino?
It's fascinating. I think that also you can't use, if we're talking about strictly Vinny and Pete Alonso, you can't use the ballpark excuse, right? Because both ballparks are not friendly to hitters.
To power hitters.
To power hitters, that is. I wonder how much of that goes into these free agent decisions, Austin. The ballpark you play in. Yeah. Because I remember when the Cubs were working with Cody Bellinger and whether or not there was a chance that Cody Bellinger was going to be a Cub, part of it, and whether or not he'd re-sign. Same story goes for Kyle Tucker this year, right? Like, this has now been 2 years in a row where there's been an outfielder, specifically an outfielder, go with the Chicago Cubs. He's been capable of hitting home runs and has had a down year, down year in the home run department. I wonder if now, if you're another free agent, you look at that and go, okay, in the ballpark that we're playing in, you're playing in it, 81 games of the year, 81 times of the year. And so, like, it is notable. I also wonder how much they actually take that into account.
I think you'd be dumb not to. You can't make it everything, because at some point you got to bet on your talent. Oh, I'm good enough to make it work. I'll find a way to do it.
The ego comes in.
Right.
Honestly, it's
but
the
you
same
also
way
can't
as like
ignore the data.
you can't ignore the data, especially with how analytical baseball's become. But I feel like also it's some sort of the same conversation we talk about with college football coaches or just head coaches in general. Why would you leave that place to go to this place? Well, it's because they don't ever feel like they'll fail. They don't think they'll ever fail. The reason that they're in the spot that they are of potentially moving to a quote unquote better job or a higher paying job is because they've had success at their current stop. They never think that they're going to have failure or anything but success at their next stop. So I feel like with baseball, yes, you have to have that ego mentality at times, but you also, with it being such an analytically and database sport, you have to trust the analytics more so than maybe just your ego at times.
Another guy I want your opinion on, a guy that was at one point near and dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah.
Phillies did not come to an agreement with him. Schwarbs will be entering his age 33 season 1 year after playing almost primarily designated hitter, featuring in left field once or twice. Played all 162 games, 56 homers, led the National League, 132 RBI, led all of baseball. OPS plus of 150. His career OPS plus is 127. Nick, is there any chance that the Cincinnati kid goes home and helps boost the Reds lineup? Or you think it's more likely than not that he sticks around in Philly?
I think it's more likely that he has a reuniting celebration with the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know. I think you need somebody that I've been reading that they're thinking projected contract for him is around the 4-year, $130 million mark.
Which would take him through age 36 and a half or 37.
Which is essentially his last spot. I think I think this is where we talk about the hitter-friendly ballpark, a situation to where he's not going to be asked to play defense. It's going to be designated hitter all 162 games, if not a few less. I just think that Boston's kind of set up that way. And just the reuniting of those two pieces there. I could also see him go back to Chicago. Like that's not even just for me. Chicago, believe it or not, in a ballpark that's not necessarily friendly to hitters, especially with the wind more times than not blowing in. There was some insane statistic that the large portion of their runs last year came, and it was like heavily tilted to the home runs. It came off the home run ball. Like that's one of the things that the Cubs did best last year was hit the home run ball. And so if you're looking at, okay, how can you get better? That's funny if you're watching on the stream. How can you get better? Well, it's go get power home run guys, power hitting guys. And Kyle Schwarber's the guy that hit almost 60 home runs last year. It is, and that is well within the Cubs' ability to pay. I mean, there are a lot of teams that can afford the $130 million.
Would you rather see Kyle Tucker or Kyle Schwarber back with the Cubs?
Schwarber in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
Even going into age 33?
Yeah, I would. Because at 32, he hit 56 home runs and 132 RBI.
Ooh.
And the Cubs, here's why I say that. Here's why I say that. The Cubs are also incredibly deep with outfield talent. I led off this conversation
Cubs said something similar.
I was saying this about the Cubs, or I was saying this about the outfield talent and how it's a very polarizing trade piece for a lot of organizations this year. I would imagine that the Cubs are going to be heavy players with dealing. I mean, they have so many, whether it's Owen Casey, whether it's Ian Happ won another Gold Glove. Who knows if that's going to be a possibility of a trade piece there. Ian Happ's going to be in the Hall of Pretty Good. Like that's just where he's at.
Yeah.
He's won 4 straight Gold Gloves, and he's, I mean, just fine batting wise, but man, his defense is great. They're going to re-sign PCA. They're going to effort to re-sign PCA. Pete Crow Armstrong there. You got to find a corner outfielder. I mean, Seiya Suzuki had a great year last year going into what's about to be a contract year, I believe, if I remember his contract correctly. And then down in the minors, you have Owen Casey, who's one of their top prospects. You have Kevin Alcantara, who's one of their top prospects. There's a lot of outfield depth in that Cubs organization. When you talk about a team like that has a need for pitching, has a need for starters, has a need for bullpen guys. The Cubs are not going to be players in off season for bullpen guys. They just don't overspend for bullpen pieces. They always just do a, hey, Johnny Holstaff type of thing with the relief people. And so if they can sign a Dylan Cease, if they can get a piece, I want to bring a player by you on the spot.
Okay.
I think it was Bob Nightingale brought up that the Padres are thinking about of making Fernando Tatis available. Thoughts on if Fernando Tatis Jr. is available for the San Diego Padres?
I mean,
is he attractive?
That's a guy who last year, OPS plus of 125 across, what would that be? I mean, 6 WAR essentially in what ended up being 155 games. I mean, it's hard to say that it's not an attractive piece. 154, 156, 166 OPS pluses, year off with the PED suspension, 110, 130, 125. I think that if Fernando Tatis Jr.
He got the contract.
He's already locked up.
Yeah.
I think
for a long time, for probably the rest of his career.
I'm going to say Fernando Tatis Jr. is in that tier that's below like your Bobby Witt Jr., Julio Rodriguez tier. Okay. Like, I think those guys are a step better right now. Okay. And now Tatis had an incredible rookie year, finishing third in voting. He's good. I don't know if he's elite.
Okay.
I don't know if he's great.
I mean, here's what's crazy. I mean, exceptional contract that he signed, by the way, when you break it down. I mean, Austin, I
remember who traded him away?
Ooh, I do not.
The White Sox.
Oh, I forgot. I did not know that.
Tatis, Luis Robert, and Eloy Jimenez.
That's right. And who was the guy that Eloy came? Was Eloy the one that the Cubs traded to them? Or no, Yohan Moncada. Yohan Moncada was traded from the Cubs
at that point.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I'm underrating Tatis. Now that I look at his stack.
Well, here's what I would say. You're getting so next year, if they do elect to get him, you're essentially getting somebody he has a full no trade clause through 2028. Now, granted, he can waive those, right? Here's what's funny. How about this contract set up for Fernando Tatis? So, Austin, he has a full no trade clause through 2028. A 10-team no trade clause, no trade list from 29 to 2034. And then it was the longest contract in MLB history, highest average salary for a shortstop at the time of signing as well. He only made $20 million last year.
Because there's like 13 for 330 when he signed.
So it was 14 for 340.
Okay.
So
I'm a scrub.
Yeah. Gosh, get better. Next year he makes $20 million again. Then it goes up. It's like the Matt Rule contract. $25 million for 2027, $25 million for 2028. And then every year from 2029 to 2034, he makes $36.7 million a year. Woo! He gets an $11 million bump from 2028 to 2029.
So 2020.
You're talking about backloaded.
They'll be like entering age 30. 29 and 30.
Yeah, in 2029, he'll be 30 years old.
Yeah.
And he's I mean,
prime.
You're talking about at his age 34 season, he's making 36.7. At his age 35 season, making 36.7. He feels like the next Nolan Arenado. Where at some point, maybe in like 2030, they'll dump his contract.
Could be.
And he'll be fine. Nolan Arenado's fine.
Yeah.
Not the premier third baseman we viewed him as 3 years ago.
Right.
Or would Anthony Rendon be a better comparison?
No, he'll play more than Rendon.
That's what I thought so too.
Dare I go like Carlos Beltran? But I think Tatis moved out of a premium defensive position too early.
True. I 100% agree. And that's what I worry about Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie is what an enigma.
Ellie De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds. And it's tough for me to talk about him in this way because he's an interdivision rival with the Cincinnati Reds. I feel like they've dramatically mishandled and mismanaged Ellie De La Cruz's career.
I think Ellie De La Cruz is more on the Reds, but I think O'Neal Cruz with the Pirates is more on him.
Oh, great. Yes. Bam. Great conversation. This is awesome. This is great.
Let's go to break. Let's pick it up there. Speaking of the Pirates.
This is funny. Fernando Tatis forfeited $2.5 million in his PED policy suspension.
Oh, poor guy.
I mean, 2.5.
Where's he going to make that up?
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Paul Skeens, Cy Young winner. Tarek Skubal, Cy Young winner. Let's talk about that. Wrapping up hour 2 of Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hey there, this is Paul Shield, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team, or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up our baseball conversation here on Old School. Austin Norman and Nick Sainer with you. You can be a part of the conversation as well. 402-464-5685. Final segment of our 4 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by the great folks over at Love Volleyball Nebraska. To renew your season tickets or secure them for the first time or to become a League One volleyball member, visit lovb.com. Their season starts in January, I believe you say in our commercial, right, Nick?
That is correct. Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned. Love Volleyball.
Stay tuned.
Nebraska. That's the radio thing, right? Stay tuned. More ahead.
Yeah.
So shout out the fine folks over at Love Volleyball Nebraska. MLB award season underway. Nick Kurtz, American League Rookie of the Year. Cade Horton barely gets edged out on the National League side. Heck of a year for him, but the whole rib issue probably came back to bite him.
Yeah.
American League Cy Young. Tarek Skubal has now had 2 seasons where he's made 30 or more starts with a sub-250 ERA, sub-1 whip, a 6 or higher walk to strikeout ratio, and has won the Cy Young. Okay, he's the only 2 seasons in Major League Baseball history that he's done that. The flip side of that is Paul Skeens, just the 8th pitcher in Major League Baseball history to win both the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young. Don Newcomb, Tom Seaver, Rick Sutcliffe, Fernando Mania, Dwight Gooden, Justin Verlander, and Jacob deGrom, his company there. Skeens and Skubal, of course, start the All-Star game and win the Cy Young, both of them in the same year. First time that has happened since 2001. Randy Johnson and Roger Clemens. And yet, Nick, I find myself wildly disappointed. In that the conversation, the night that Paul Skeens wins the Cy Young is, rumor says Paul Skeens wants to go to the Yankees. Are you kidding me? Why do we have to do this all the time? He probably ends up there. But the dude just won his first Cy Young. The dude is the pitching version of Mike Trout right now.
Yeah.
And it has to be, how fast can we get him out of there? And I get it. Pittsburgh is a dumpster fire in the most charitable sense. I want him someplace where he can be successful and dominate. But the night he wins the Cy Young, the 3rd Pirate ever, why does that have to leak then?
I did appreciate his response because he was asked about it last night. And his response was just something, I mean, very, very cliche, very, I want to be a part. A lot of people count us out. A lot of people don't think the Pirates can win some ball games. And I want to be a part of the group. And I think it's very diplomatic, right, of Paul Skeens to do that. He definitely handles, you could see him growing into his own as well. Little things like the celebration, right? There was no emotion last year when he won the Rookie of the Year award. A little bit more emotion this year when he wins the Cy Young. But ultimately, I was actually very happy that it was a unanimous decision that Paul Skeens was the NL Cy Young. I don't think we maybe recognize, and I just want to bring it to the air space of how difficult it could be to win the Cy Young Award on a team like the Pittsburgh Pirates that fired their head coach, 22 games into the season or something like that. And the Pittsburgh Pirates this year, this is a team that won 71 games. So they weren't horrific, I should say, but they were not good. They weren't anywhere close.
Pirates.
They weren't anywhere close to playoff contention. And yet they have the best pitcher in baseball, and it was voted on unanimously. I think that really shows. He had a 10-10 record. He had a sub-2 ERA, and he had a 10-10 record. I don't think we really processed that right now, and so that's why I just wanted to bring it to the air, because that is remarkable. You're giving up less than 2 runs per 9 innings, and you have 10 losses. Your offense cannot score more than 2 runs. That you cannot score more than 2 runs a game. When you're starting, you get no help. I was happy to see that they gave it to him and it was unanimous because I felt like it was deserved.
In the span of about 900 days, give or take, Paul Skeens has gone from playing in college, winning most outstanding player at the Men's College World Series, to National Pitcher of the Year, to Dick Hauser winner, to number 1 pick, Rookie of the Year, back-to-back All-Star Game starter, and now unanimous Cy Young. Nick, the record is 7 Cy Youngs for Roger Clemens. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, given that, this is Cy Young number 1 for Paul Skeens. I just hope that he's the pitching version of Mike Trout in that he starts his career this fast and makes an impact, a lasting one on the sport of baseball. But I hope he's able to avoid the injury issues and wear and tear and drama that's followed Mike Trout in Los Angeles. Mike Trout will still be like a top 3 baseball player of all time in terms of my favorites. He was tracking to be an inner circle Hall of Famer. Paul Skeens certainly on that track right now. I know he's in your division for who knows what we'll see, but just for the game of baseball, keep this dude healthy. Keep him away from drama. Get him to October, please.
It is so funny. He had a 7.7 WAR this year. Last year,
insane.
Over his career, he's had a 13.5 WAR, wins above replacement. That's crazy to think about.
It's hard for pitchers to put up WAR like that.
Yeah, it is.
Taking the ball once every 5th day.
It's wild. I mean, 216 strikeouts this season and 187 innings pitch, almost 188, 187 and 2/3, a 1.97 earned run average, 32 starts. I think a lot of it, right? Baseball name of the game, it's heat, velocity, right? Yeah. He does it really well. He throws it very well, and
he has a signature pitch in the splinter.
He does. I think I would love to look up like Paul Skeens, like his analytics.
As you do that, let me talk about WAR while you find the Skeens numbers. So Paul Hembekides, who's with ESPN and the Pat McAfee show as well, was doing pitcher WAR in the American League. Fangraphs had Tarek Skubal at a 0.8 wins above replacement more than Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
Baseball Reference had him just 0.2 of a win ahead of Crochet. Baseball Prospectus WAR, Garrett Crochet beat Tarek Skubal by a win and a 10th. 7 WAR to 5.9 because Baseball Prospectus essentially factors in opponent quality.
Wow.
Against top 10 lineups, Garrett Crochet, 83 innings, a 2.4 ERA, and a 6.11 OPS against. Tarek Skubal against top 10 lineups, 61 innings pitched, a 3.7 ERA, and a 7.10 OPS. But this is where we get into award season. So much of it is the vibe.
100%.
Think about how good the Tigers were, best record in the AL for a while.
Yeah.
Skubal won it last year. Clearly dominant. And I probably would have gone with Skubal, but maybe it should have been closer than 26-4 in first place vote.
Yeah, I will say, I think Skubal, and it's really interesting. Did you see what Scott Boras, his agent, was saying yesterday?
Okay, Scott Boras was on something yesterday with all his wordplay.
And all of his rhymes.
Like, dude is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Will someone take the microphone away from him? But no, please tell me.
Scott Boras was talking about Tarek Skubal, and it's a crucial couple of months here for Skubal and the Tigers.
Get him out of here.
They got to figure out, are they going to commit to him long-term, or are they going to trade him? Or are they going to do what the Cubs did, like what they did with Wilson Contreras, and do neither, and then get nothing out of him when he goes and signs somewhere else in the free agent market?
Please do that, Detroit, please.
That'd be great. But ultimately, they need to make a decision. I think they'd be stupid to not re-sign him.
You're looking for your face post-Biggie.
You're looking.
You have him.
Yes, you have him. And according to Scott Boras, they want to build a Tarek barrack at the Tigers ballpark. Now, what's funny is, Austin, you understand this. Look at the division. It's in a real gettable spot right now. And
which is also kind of
I'm sorry to say that about the Royals.
No,
but
it's funny to see because you also had 3 teams that were in playoff contention until the last week of the year.
You did, but you could feel like you could really get an upper hand.
Oh, yeah.
On the division.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I want to see the Royals be aggressive this offseason.
100%.
It's there.
Which that's the reason why it's like, man, you're kind of just waving the white flag if you don't. Paul Skeens, this is why I have faith in that he'll be able to continue it. And maybe not a Cy Young every year, but to a certain.
I mean, certainly top 5.
Right. So he throws his 4-seam fastball. We talk about arm care and things like that. There's so much technology out and so much in the arm care world to where if you can throw it and if you can protect your arm and things like that, you can get your arm ready to go. You can prevent or limit the potential injury percentage. And obviously I'm talking Tommy John or something massive with your shoulder or elbow, right? Well, 4-seam fastball is as pure of a pitch as you could throw. He throws it close to 40% of the time.
Whew.
That's a dramatic amount. We're looking at for 4-seam fastball, 39.6% of his pitches are the 4-seam fastball.
Okay.
This is why I think he's starting to understand how to have longevity in Major League Baseball. In year 1, in his rookie year, he threw the curveball 13.8% of the time. This season, 4.7. You know what pitch he started to increase the amount, the changeup. The changeup, 5.4%, almost doubled to 11.9%. Little details like that. If that trend continues, these are the analytics that like pitchers are looking at, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the analytics continue and this trend continues, you're never going to be a foolproof plan. But the potential for longevity and the potential to keep your arm healthy is greater because you're not having the whip on the tendon in your elbow, right? You're also with changeups, it's a lot of pronation, it's a lot of rolling over with the wrist. It's a lot of you still get the movement, and when you throw as hard as Paul Skeens does, the average miles per hour on his four-seam fastball is 98.2. His average miles per hour on the changeup in 2025, 88.7. You're talking almost a 10 mile per hour difference with movement.
Changing speed, changing eye level.
Yes, that's all. And if you can command at the big league level, probably at college level, it's 2.
Mm-hmm.
At the big league level, you'd like to have 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
not dominant like him, 4.
Yes, if you can command the four seamer, the changeup, and then some sort of, in his version, the sinker and the split finger, you are going to have the at least potential to have longevity in the league. It's where you start. It's the heavy slider throwers. It's the heavy curve guys that consistently get their arms hurt. And most of the time, once again, the name of the game right now on the mound is velocity, velocity, velocity. Run the meter red, man. And Paul Skeens does that. His velocity is actually down 0.6 miles per hour from his rookie year.
Is he injured?
No. But once again,
he's still throwing what, 98.6?
Well, he's throwing. So in 2024, he threw 98.8. His average changeup though was 87. This year, 98.2 for his four seamer. His sinker, 97.6. You want to talk about movement with some run on it? Hello, sinker. And then you can throw in your changeup in there with 88 miles an hour. You're talking about 10, 11 miles an hour of speed change consistently. And if you're able to locate and you're just a dominating presence on the mound like he is, you have a bright future.
We got to go to break. I got to sneak this in really quick, though. Your pick for AL MVP tonight.
I think it's going to be Aaron Judge. I want it to be Cal Raleigh. I really want it to be Cal. I just don't think. I think market size matters too much, and it pisses me off.
And Judge was that good with the bat again.
Yeah.
And that's like Raleigh wasn't.
And that's the thing is I'm not trying to take away anything from Aaron Judge. It's in all honesty, I think Cal Raleigh was more valuable to the Mariners. So then by definition, yeah, he should be the MVP. I just think market size and Aaron Judge did enough this year once again to have his name known.
The biggest travesty is not Aaron Judge versus Cal Raleigh. It's the fact that the American League Gold Glover, Platinum Glover, and Silver Slugger at shortstop is not in the top 3. Justice for Robert Andrew Witt Jr.
Okay.
Justice for Bobby.
Justice
Jose
for Bobby.
Ramirez belongs in 4th place.
Can I talk about the market size though again?
Well, it's the vibes.
It's the vibes.
Cleveland got hot.
It's the vibes and the
Bobby
market size.
Bobby carried
baby.
that team. Him and Michael, best left side of the infield in baseball. And because Cleveland
Except
got
in
hot.
Chicago. That's bad. No, best. I was gonna say best middle infield. Never mind.
I'm saying left side here, so we can work with that.
Okay. Would you agree with middle infielders?
For now.
Dansby and Nico?
Until the Royals trade for Brendan Donovan. Until the Royals trade for Brendan Donovan. All right, I've got off my soapbox. We'll talk some Husker hoops and some more college football in hour 3.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock. Perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Make Hog Wild the centerpiece of your Thanksgiving feast. Pre-order a 12-pound whole smoked turkey or a 4-pound turkey breast for $55. A 4-pound boneless ham is $50. A complete meal includes your choice of a whole turkey or turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, green beans or corn, and a dozen rolls for $130. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com soon. Quantities are limited. All weights are approximate before cooking. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is Old School 93.7 Ticket, ticketfm.com. Reliving the glory days of the Immaculate Grid. We're pulling some names.
Oh, I just got one. Played left field for only one team. Former Husker, Alex Gordon.
There we go.
2%.
Really?
I thought it would be a lot higher than that. I need played left field for the Twins and played left field for the Mariners. But either way. Also, somebody called me Jake on the text line. That hurts my feelings.
Ooh. Interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, they are correct in that the Royals championship run really changed the length of the starters. 23-20, Austin, come on. Bobby had a year, nowhere close to the year of Cal or Judge. I was not arguing for Bobby to win MVP, even if Bobby is the MVP of my baseball heart. I'm just saying he should have finished in third. He should have been one of the top 3 finalists, which they announced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he will finish 4th. I feel really confident about that. But that was just my point about how vibes-based it
Oh,
it gets
it's market size too.
Which, I mean, Cleveland, mistake by the lake, that's not a huge market. They're not spending anything. Royals at least are a little bit. But anyways, I just got to pound the table for my guy Bobby when I get a chance.
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of vibes, they were up in PBA last night.
They were.
Almost from the jump. Jess Petrie, the three-quarter court shot was pretty incredible. Nebraska women's basketball romps over Creighton. We mentioned it a little bit before, Nick. Not the same Creighton team of years past. They're certainly rebuilding.
Yeah.
But even in that context, Nebraska women's basketball wins by 34. And if you're a good team and a team's a bad team, you find a way to not just beat them, but you beat them pretty bad. My eyes are open a little bit for this Nebraska women's basketball team, especially on the heels of another incredible signing day where you get the third 5-star in program history to commit and a couple 4-stars as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's all going to come together, but maybe this is the start of the run for Amy Williams.
Well, I think it needs to be. I mean, you're coming off the heels of a very successful career for Alexis Markowski. And she was
very successful individual career.
Very successful individual career for Alexis Markowski. You're able to glide that, I would say, and also overlap that with a 5-star, really exciting player in Britt Prince. And now you're going to have potentially going into the next one of Ashlyn Copel, who's the 5-star that they signed yesterday from South Dakota. You talk about just the ability to, that overlap is huge, I think. And when you're able to blend the leadership and the growth, and it allows a player like Britt Prince, maybe this year, last year, to come in, play a very prominent role on this team, hit some big shots down the stretch, and not require her to be the number one focus, I think is massively important and beneficial for the development. And it's going to be the same for Ashlyn Copel.
It's hard to say it's a make or break year. Amy Williams has been pretty darn successful in her tenure at Nebraska, entering season 10 already at the helm of her alma mater. Man, think about the program that she inherited. I know it was bad toward the end of the Connie Ori era, then Amy Williams comes in.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised that Nebraska hasn't made even one run to the second weekend. It feels like that's the next step for this program, where it's almost in the same category for me, Nick, of Husker baseball. But at least, Husker women's basketball kind of knows who it is. They're going to play their two bigs. They have their style. They have their identity. And I'm curious to see if there really is a second gear for this program to reach. Because I think sooner than later, if you're able to have this identity and you're able to add talent to what it is you do well, we've seen that this program can go places. It's time for that next step.
It is. And they were so close last year against Louisville. And I was down there in Fort Worth when they played Louisville and lost 63-58. I think that game changes dramatically. Number one, if Britt Prince doesn't foul out with a couple of minutes left in the game. It was some really questionable fouls, and I'm not a blame the officials guy at all, but
our catcher, you have to sweet talk him.
Bingo. Yeah. Right. But no, I think that ultimately the game does look a little different. This is going to be a team that I think this year they're going to get it inside with Jess, but I think more so than not, it's going to be very similar to the guys, where as long as they can shoot the 3 ball and the perimeter shot well, that's going to go and take them for how far as it can. I just think that there's a lot of, this is so cliche of somebody who covers the team to say that there's incredible depth. Like you look at some of these positions, and Jim mentioned it on the text line, and I was going to get to it. You had notable players that aren't playing. Like Allison Widener's taken a redshirt year this year and is going to come back next season as she continues to recover from the knee injury. But you had somebody like Logan Nisley, who might play fewer minutes this year than she did last year just because of the depth on this team. And she was in a boot last night, and Nebraska didn't skip a beat. And you have Kennedy Williams stepping up in these early parts of the season where her best sport is softball, but she's still making an impact and providing some valuable time for the basketball team as a dual sport athlete. And then obviously you have players, Claire Johnson and Natalie Potts is on the bench as well. Yeah. But Claire Johnson and obviously, you go and you look at the transfers, and it's Haley Weaver from Northwestern and
started all 3 games.
Yeah. It's just there's a lot of different options. But Austin, I say this, and maybe we can transition into the men's basketball conversation with this, of like too many options also can be a bad thing, because for Nebraska basketball, on the men's side by Saturday, you kind of have to have some roles defined. And there's a couple that might get left out surprisingly that I want to talk about. But same thing for the women. Not as much as soon, but really mid-December when you start to play the USCs of the world and stuff like that, the conference games, you need to have the roles clearly defined for what's healthy at that moment. Too many cooks in the kitchen can provide a little bit of struggle as well.
100% agree. I even said that for football, which is why I really like the UCLA game plan. You had 4 guys with catches, and they all made sense. You had one guy get the lion's share of the touches. Depth is a strength until it holds you back. Like anything, it's good in moderation. And Nick, this Nebraska men's basketball team is nowhere close to figuring out that rotation. They still have a lot of guys I think they want to get eyes on and get minutes for. But I think that's going to be fascinating to monitor really over the course of the next 8 days, which I think is the first most important stretch of the season for this team. Neutral site game closer for you than it is for Oklahoma, a team that's the first high major team that Nebraska will have played. Essentially, Oklahoma is as good as Maryland Eastern Shore was bad. If you look at their simple rating score on Basketball Reference, Oklahoma is a +12 and Maryland Eastern Shore was a -14. A tournament team last year, brand new team, so factor a lot of that in and out. An Oklahoma team that's going to have advantages in terms of getting downhill, in terms of rebounding. Can Nebraska make up for that with its shooting? This is where I think the depth comes in handy for Nebraska.
Gotcha.
Is that if you start off slow, you have options to pull in off the bench. Nebraska did not start well against St. Mary's last year. Then Bryce Williams got going a little bit. I think Connor Sejan got going a little bit. And he wasn't, I think maybe that was the game Connor had a spot start in. I forget off the top of my head. But in a game like this, you can still work through who's hot and who's not, like against St. Mary's. But then you go from Oklahoma down to Kansas City to take on a brand new New Mexico team that I think is probably the most favorable first-round draw Nebraska could get in this MTE. But again, still a tournament team last year or borderline close to it. And then you could either Kansas State or Mississippi State. Mississippi State's a top 30 team in KenPom. Kansas State a little bit ahead of Nebraska, borderline top 50, mid 40s type of team. These next 8 days will not and cannot determine the entirety of Nebraska's schedule, given that they play in the Big Ten. You can always make up ground in this conference.
Yeah.
But man, what a way to send a fantastic first impression. If Nebraska 3-0 is going to be difficult, but if Nebraska can go 2-1 in these next 3, that is a huge step in the right direction for a team that pretty much every major, bracketology site that's already doing it this early has Nebraska firmly on the bubble.
I know you don't want to look too far ahead, but man, Austin, I mean, even if you can go 3-0, you're talking about more than likely 8-0 overall going into that Creighton game. And that's the first massive test for you. I think we're going to have a lot of the same opinions going into a lot of these games against other Division I teams. It might not be as athletic as the opponent, right? Might not be able to. It's going to come down to shooting ability. I looked back at that St. Mary's loss last year. Nebraska lost 77-74 to the Gales. It was a game where, as a team, they shot 5 of 17 from beyond the 3-point line.
And I think they had most of their makes in one late first half flurry.
Yeah.
Or early second half.
They shot, I think you're right. In the first half, they shot 3 of 10 from the 3-point line in the first half, 2 of 7 from the 3-point line in the second half. I think, number one, the volume of 3-point shots is going to be dramatically higher than that this week. I think that the makes as well. I was encouraged to see in the game against FIU on Saturday, Price Sanford. Like, that is why you bring him in. He had a spell, and you probably know the specific sequence that I'm talking about. But there was a span. I'm just going to throw a number, like 14 points in the matter of like a minute of game time.
It was 8 points in the span of 28 seconds.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
It was a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
It was a transition layup of some sort off of a broken possession.
There was a trailer, right?
And then the trail one was Sam gets the steal on the inbound, dribbles in the middle of the court, flips it back to Price. 8 points, 28 seconds, and Nebraska's really off.
Yeah, and like those are the types that, number one, that's why you bring in Price, is the ability to not necessarily to score 8 points in 28 seconds, but it's the 3-point ability. It's the 3-point ability. I want to ask you, because I've been asked a lot when I've been at the game about him. Kendall Blue. What is the role for, and maybe we don't know, and that's okay if that's an acceptable answer. I think that there were a lot of us, myself included, that maybe saw more playing time in the future, in the near future for Kendall Blue. And he just, number one, hasn't been given a whole lot of opportunities, which is telling in its own right. And when he has gotten in, it's looked real sloppy.
The factual answer, the speak on what we know answer is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's my read on that situation. I think Kendall Blue came in and is a guy that still needs to find a way to adjust to how physical this level is consistently, which is weird to say for a guy that came from a really high-level Summit League team in St. Thomas with good coaching, with solid talent around him. But this is faster, more consistently for him.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is that he's a little sped up on offense. He's a little unsure. He's a little hesitant on offense. Probably not the same, I'm that guy, as Bryce Williams. He did get knocked off his spot a little bit and didn't handle pressure great, but at least didn't back down. Kendall Blue against Florida International, what was really telling to me was as the point guard, when you see Jamarcus Lawrence and Cale Jacobson and even Sam Hoiberg at times clear everyone else out to handle the ball, Kendall Blue either was unwilling to do that or unable to do that. For a guy who was brought in to be a bigger jumbo style point guard.
I like his size a lot.
That's why Nebraska got him, because they want that positional size. And I still think that he's maybe that skeleton key that can unlock everything for Nebraska. My guess is he's standing and watching a little bit too much on defense too, not fully involved with the scheme. But I think more than anything, it's between the ears for Kendall Blue, because he just looks listless. He looks like he's floating. It looks like he's just out there for Nebraska right now, which is not me writing him off, right? If he comes into his own toward the end of non-conference into conference play, that goes so far for Nebraska, but he doesn't provide the energy and the defense that Sam Hoiberg does. He doesn't provide the organizational skills that Cale Jacobson does. He doesn't provide the athleticism or consistent, scoring pop or athleticism that Jamarcus Lawrence does.
Yeah.
He's a guy. That's it. He's just out there right now. So that's why I think that you haven't seen him a lot. Whereas the argument for Essegian, still coming off the bench is, okay, if Price Sanford is cold, at least we know Connor Essegian is going to get shots up. He's not going to lose confidence, and he can get hot in a hurry. I still think the majority of Essegian's minutes from last year go to Sanford, who I think is just a little bit taller, pretty much the same defender, gives you a little bit more in terms of ball handling, craft, creativity, which Essegian, to his credit, has improved. But I think Sanford's just about 5% better across the board than Connor Essegian. He's younger, a little bit taller as well, but there's still a role for Connor Essegian. But that's where you look at, Kendall Blue as a senior. How did you get passed up by Braden Frager?
Yeah.
Is it the mentality? Is it as simple as that? Is there something to the year two transfer magic under Fred Hoiberg? And I know Frager's not a transfer, but it is still year two for him. Having a year to learn the system, I'm sure helps. But Nebraska, I don't think will be able to achieve all of its goals without either consistent production from Braden Frager or Kendall Blue. Before the year, you thought the consistency would come from the senior who'd been around the college basketball block. Right now, it's looking like Frager's the safer bet.
Yeah, which is interesting. There's a lot of exciting pieces to this team. There's a lot of experience on this team. Number one, I told you a while ago off air, it just feels like they are a team that might lose. It's going to be kind of a roller coaster where there might be some times where you go after a game and you say, man, they really should have beaten them. And on paper, they should have beaten them, and they just don't. And then there's going to be a lot of games where they're going to somehow comfortably win against teams that you didn't think that they were going to even beat in the first place. It just feels like we're on the cusp of a roller coaster, ebbs and flows, just kind of hang on with them type of year.
The example that comes to mind for me, it's not going to be perfect, but just kind of work with me, right? Some people are going to say, well, I was just right across the river.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's necessarily the right comparison for how Nebraska's playing. Nebraska won't play that fast. I think of some of those like mid-ish tenure Jay Wright teams at Villanova where, can a jump shooting team really win the championship? Yeah. Well, guess what? That was Villanova in 2016 and 2018. And that's, again, not where I'm trying to say Nebraska is, but even the few years before that, I mean, these Villanova teams that were winning mid-20s or more games would just forget how to put the ball in the basket for stretches. The first title team for Villanova wasn't immune to this. I'm going to scroll through their schedule here. I mean, they scored 55 points in a loss at a neutral site to Oklahoma. And that's a team that on the year averaged 78. These nights happen where you get cold. Their next loss came on the road at Virginia, where they actually put up 75 on Virginia, which is hard to do. Then you scroll down, they win a game only putting up 72 against Seton Hall, 60 at Butler, 55 at Georgetown, 72 at Seton Hall, 68 on the road at St. John's for a team that you think of as an offensive juggernaut and a machine.
Yeah.
Nebraska's not even at that level. They're going to have these off nights, which is where surviving, the first half really against West Georgia, surviving the last 8 minutes against Maryland Eastern Shore, and really, the middle 8 minutes of the first half against Maryland Eastern Shore as well. But then you have to tell yourself, well, it's Maryland Eastern Shore, it's West Georgia. Yeah. It is going to come down to the threes. And to your point, when you have a team that's this reliant on variance, you just never know what night it's going to be against.
I know we're up against the clock, but one thing I will also add on to that is I will say it is different than what Fred started out with, right? Where when Fred Hoiberg got here, he brought in as good of shooters as he probably could have brought in. And it was, all right, we're going to ask these guys to shoot the lights out of the gym, knowing they're not the best shooters on the floor. This year, Nebraska has guys that can shoot, right? So you hope that the ebbs and flows, the roller coaster isn't so dramatic, right? It isn't so steep one way or the other. You hope it's a little more of a gradual kind of line. It's closer to linear, if you will, because you're asking them to do their strengths. It's just how consistent can they showcase their strengths?
Which is where I get what Fred Hoiberg was saying at his presser today. He doesn't understand and doesn't appreciate when his team's pace isn't good. That's not Nebraska, getting 90 possession. That's not what he means. What Fred Hoiberg means more often than not when he says pace is, did my team take advantage of the opportunities it had in transition to get out? And in the half-court setting, were guys standing around or were they moving? Nebraska stood around and looked out of place so consistently against Maryland Eastern Shore until they opened it up. That's when shots started falling. That has a little bit to do with athleticism. Nebraska will struggle against ball pressure teams offensively, and which is where you love the passing ability of Rink Mass, the basketball IQ to be able to back cut against pressure as that release valve. But the other way to beat pressure is you get one guy open, he hits his shot.
Yeah.
You just need him open for a split second. That's the bet that Nebraska is making right now. If they stand still, they're not going to beat anyone. They're not St. John's where they can ISO and go one-on-one. They got to be in constant motion. They can do it deliberately as long as it's done intentionally. So
here we go. Saturday night, Big Ten Network, baby.
Big one.
Finally on TV.
Pentagon.
Woo! Finally.
Been a long time. Fun night in college hoops tonight, by the way. Purdue gets Trey Kaufman-Renn back against Alabama.
Longest winning streak in the country.
Resides right here in Lincoln,
Nebraska men's basketball.
7 games, folks. You only need to win 6 to win the tournament.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
This Black Friday, it is time to hit your goals before the new year even starts. At Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, get 40% off our next 10-week challenge, plus 6 weeks for free to kickstart your fitness journey. Start training December 1st with kickboxing, strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxbeatlincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930, all deals with approved credit.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we are back to Old School on The Ticket. Austin Norman and Nick Sainer with you another 25 minutes or so. Do you have Thursday night football coming your way? We'll be out of here about 6:30 for that to start right here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. One last thing on the Nebraska basketball conversation. Jesse says may only need 6 to win the tournament, but may need to win 22 or 23 to get into the dance. I get where that number comes from, but if Nebraska plays its cards right, I really think you can get in with 20. Just being a Big Ten team. You know, that's where if you go 3-1 in that stretch of games that I mentioned, your Oklahoma, your MTE, and your Creighton, if you go 3-1 in those games, and probably if you go 8-2 at home, and you can steal 3 Big Ten road wins, and that's 11 conference wins. It's, 1 or 2 decent neutral wins and potentially a home win over Creighton as well. It wouldn't probably be single digit seed worthy, but you'd be, maybe 9, probably in that 10 range.
Remind me, Oregon got in, right? Last year?
Oregon was it. Yep.
Did Indiana?
Indiana did not.
That's what I thought. Okay, so
left
that's
on the cutting
cutoff.
room floor for Bubba Cunningham's North Carolina Tar Heels.
So 8 Big Ten teams made it last year.
It was Purdue.
Oh, this is fun.
Illinois.
Yep.
Okay, let me think here. Michigan got in.
Yep.
Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State.
Yep.
You're talking then about, you already mentioned Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon was in, okay, let me think through it. I know these don't.
You're missing 2.
Yeah. Trying to think through the top. Oh, Wisconsin made it.
Yep. And one had their coach leave.
Yeah, and then it was Maryland.
That's right.
With Derek Queen.
Maryland. So you asked me that question during the break of how many, hypothetically speaking, Big Ten wins do you need? I said 11, and that's if you lose a couple of non-cons. That would be right on pace for sneaking in. Now, it's also important to remind listeners that everybody makes the Big Ten tournament this year.
Mm-hmm. On the men's side, not on the women's side.
On the men's side. Yes, on the men's side it does. So, it's miraculous. Nebraska finished 21-14 last year. Didn't make the Big Ten tournament.
Well, they finished 17-14 in the regular season.
That's right. That's right.
With
That's
a
right.
5-game losing streak.
Thank you. That's right. I forgot about the crown. How could I forget about the crown?
That the crown is seared.
Yeah.
Seared onto my brain.
Vegas is seared into your mind. But no, I think, if you are around that 11-12 win mark, you're pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think you're better than half the conference. I think you just have to be better than half the conference.
Yeah. I mean, now Nebraska's gone 13-5 and not made it in. Different beast of the Big Ten. We do want to spend some time here with some college football topics as well, as we were brainstorming ideas for the show. We're making our picks, making our calls right now in mid-November. A couple weeks left in the regular season, few weeks left. Where do some high-profile coaches go? Whether it's to a job in coaching, a job in media, working a regular 9-to-5, whatever it is. Nick, we'll start with James Franklin.
Yeah.
Right now, what's your vibe?
I know we both agree on this one. It's Virginia Tech.
Yeah. They need him. He needs them.
I think it fits well.
Mm-hmm.
A team that needs a little bit of juice, good defensively, run the ball, kind of just gut it out type of team. Not going to be super flashy. Will bring enough juice and enough cachet to move the needle a little bit. I think James Franklin's the dude.
Brian Kelly.
Oh man, this is hard because I don't know if there's a job right now that he would take. Do you think there is? Is Florida the one?
Florida's not going to touch him after everything at LSU.
No.
Someone suggested Michigan State. I think he'd be better there than UCLA.
Sure.
Probably. But I also don't think Jonathan Smith has been that bad at Michigan State.
I don't think it's been that bad this soon. I don't either. I said the same thing this morning on the air. I don't feel like Jonathan Smith has been given a fair run, number one. Number two, I think that there's a lot of other things wrong with Michigan State more than just their head football coach.
Yeah.
And you can't argue that he hasn't tried to fix things either. He's benching his like guy that he's
His
tied
dude.
at the hip with, and Aiden Childs.
Yeah.
So
okay. Pat Fitzgerald.
Wisconsin. Oh, that can't be Wisconsin.
Can't be Wisconsin.
I think he comes in as a coordinator somewhere, and he ends up becoming Wisconsin's head coach next year or in 2 years.
Interesting.
Or everybody's like Kirk Ferentz thing.
I love the idea of Stanford head coach Pat Fitzgerald.
But it just doesn't feel like, I don't know. It just feels like he's a Big Ten guy.
Yes.
So then is it Stanford for a year and then it's either Iowa or Wisconsin?
Who's more likely to take over at Iowa, Pat Fitzgerald or Brett Bielema?
I think it's Pat Fitzgerald. Okay, so that's another conversation. The whole Brett Bielema thing. Illinois has dramatically underperformed this year.
Yes, with a caveat.
Tough schedule.
Bill Connolly had them as one of their teams to watch for regression, where they might be just as good.
Mm-hmm.
But they won a lot of close games last year. Nearly got the one over USC this year.
Yep.
You lost some NFL talent. And not for nothing, right? We talk about Nebraska men's basketball, back-to-back 20-win years, back-to-back postseasons. Illinois is going bowling again. So no, they weren't the college football playoff contender we thought they were coming into the year. But for that school's standards, even if it is a step back in the short term, it's still a step forward in the long term.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
I wonder what the future looks like though with a couple of those pieces gone.
Sure,
Most notably Luke Altmaier. Like,
yeah.
what are they going to do? Are they a transfer quarterback destination?
Not unless there's a Chicago kid, I would think. So
it doesn't feel like it. So and that's priority number one. You got to get your quarterback right.
But they got Altmaier out of the portal. That was a Bielema thing. And Bielema
They
guy.
did, but it also felt like Altmaier was dramatically worse when he came from Ole Miss.
See, I didn't think he was that good when he came from Ole Miss.
That's what I'm saying. Dramatically worse when he was coming from Ole Miss.
So Illinois did the smart thing. They did the Big Ten thing. Found a damaged good.
Sure.
And improved him.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I give him credit. And by no means am I saying move on from Brett Bielema.
Yeah, no.
But
for Bielema, long term, is at the spot for you. That's the question.
I don't know. That's where it's just like Illinois and those types of programs. Now, Signetti's made Indiana one of them.
Yeah.
But like Illinois and Purdue and
Maryland,
I guess you would call them stair stepper jobs. Like, are any of those places long-term jobs for some of these coaches nowadays? I just don't think so. Everything's so transactional that you just sit there and go, okay, I'm good with just, be here for 4 years, do my thing, win some games, and then go somewhere else. Even if it's to another stair stepper job. Like, I think that I think we're going to start to see the perfect example would be like David Braun. Now, David Braun, I think I've said this publicly. It won't happen. But I think the best thing for David Braun's coaching career would be to get out of Northwestern. He won't.
Of his own accord.
Yes.
Yeah.
He won't because it's a Big Ten job and you don't leave a Big Ten job on your own, right? But like I brought up Virginia Tech, or if like Duke came open for David Braun,
yeah,
like I look at those and I go, yeah, that'd probably be better for his development as a coach, right? He's still a new enough head coach to where if he left or if he got fired or whatever it was and went somewhere else and won a decent number of games, he would be able to still get a job somewhere else. I just look at it like Northwestern's so tough to win. But now I guess you're going to get an influx of cash, as we talked about to start the show. Full
Right.
circle, influx of cash, and you're going to get new facilities here in a couple of years. New stadium.
Man.
Maybe Northwestern is a place.
Going to be a really nice stadium.
Yeah,
Does
that
the
they're not going to
administration
fill.
care enough?
Yeah, they're not going to fill the stadium.
But not right away. But if you think the administration has a plan to get there,
Okay, do they have a plan to get there, and do they have the run? Are they going to give them the runway
the runway.
necessary?
right.
That's
what I'm
where
not
that's
sure
the
about.
difference.
Mike Gundy, is he coaching next year?
No.
Billy Napier.
Yeah, I think I could see Napier going to like when Ryan Silverfield leaves Memphis. I see Napier going to like a job like that.
I could see it.
He did really well at Louisiana Lafayette.
Tulane.
Okay, potentially. Yeah. Tulane.
So where does Summerall go?
Is he an Arkansas guy?
Kind of feels like it comes down to Arkansas or Kentucky, no?
And I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
And Kentucky's not open yet. Mark Stoops is still there.
Yeah, he was obviously one of the initial names for every job that's been open. I don't think he fits LSU. I don't think he's flashy enough for LSU. I just don't. I don't think LSU views it as they're I think LSU thinks that they're above getting a group of 5 head coach.
Really weird stance to take, but I believe it. Especially for a place that hasn't necessarily done well with Flash.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban wasn't Flash. Les Miles wasn't Flash.
No.
Ed O wasn't Flash.
No. But they all came from notable places.
They did.
And I think that when you look at Summerall, I think Arkansas, Arkansas was a place, we got to remember, different leadership, obviously, but it was a place where they went after the Georgia offensive line coach and made him their head coach.
Yeah.
And Sam Pittman. And so I don't think they're too concerned about potentially, trying to take a shot on somebody. And that would certainly be much more of a comfortable and more traditional move to move a group of 5 head coach into a lower level SEC job.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I like Fayetteville. I like the stadium a lot. I think not Baum Walker. Yeah, it is Baum Walker, right?
That's baseball, isn't it?
Yeah, it is baseball. I can't remember. Yeah, Baum Walker's the baseball. I think it's just Baum Stadium. Anyway,
it is, let's see here, Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium.
Okay, never mind. Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. What a horrible name. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. But anyway,
it's called the Don.
The Don. Ooh, be careful nowadays. Anyway, sorry. But anyway, I knew what you meant. But we're going down a different road. Anyway, so no, I think it's cool. If you haven't been down there, the corporate Walmart area is in Bentonville on the way down to Fayetteville. You drive past it and you can pull up. There's a nice little neighborhood Walmart right by the stadium. You walk up and it's open air on one end. It's opened. So it's just, there's no fence. You just look into the stadium. It's pretty sweet being able to see it. But no, yeah, I think that's more realistic than anything.
I would see Silverfield to Arkansas.
Okay.
I also don't hate the idea of Eric Morris to Oklahoma State, although there's been some Zach Robinson, Falcons OC chatter as he goes back home.
I just think that's Colin Klein's job to lose.
Probably, which is weird. We haven't heard his name a lot. I know we talked about that on the drive a couple weeks ago. Man, that's weird for a guy that's right there. Other names I think to throw out there, is Hugh Freeze doing anything this time next year?
Media.
Ooh, I don't know if he's a media. I think he wants to be, but he strikes me as like a McAfee Barstool media, more so than
there you go.
Studio guy.
Everybody's favorite nowadays.
Mike Loxley? Is he back?
Not as the head coach.
Think he's like an associate head coach somewhere?
I can see him being an assistant. DC somewhere.
Yeah.
Was he an offensive coordinator? No, I'm thinking Mel Tucker was the defensive coordinator at Georgia because we talked about Mel this morning. Loxley came from Georgia, right?
He was an Alabama guy.
Wasn't guy. He? Man, this is really bad on me.
Yeah, he was. So wait, here we go. We got it pulled up here. All right, Mike Loxley. Was at Maryland from 2012 to 2015 as the OC and quarterbacks coach, the interim in 2005. He was an analyst, co-OC and wide receivers coach in 2017 at Bama. Alabama's OC in 2018, and that's been at Maryland.
That's what it was. So is he an offensive coordinator somewhere? I don't know. You know what other name I'm surprised we haven't heard potentially be for a head coaching job somewhere is
Will Stein?
No. Well, yes.
Okay,
this one's going to surprise you.
Wait.
He's a coordinator in an SEC school right now. And maybe this year is going to propel him into next year being on the conversation.
Missouri OC?
No.
I give up.
Ryan Grubb. I'm surprised we haven't. I'm surprised because this is a guy that called plays in the national championship game, followed him to Alabama, maybe had a little bit of a down year last year. Sure, whatever. Has kind of bounced back this year. Alabama's offense is really good. I see him being a group of 5 replacement.
Sure. Yeah.
Like on the Billy Napier field.
Yeah, I see that. Big Bank Hank, how is Arkansas not a power yet? All that Walmart money. Hey, guess what? Go listen to segment 1 of the show.
Well, Walmart money and Tyson Foods. And they just bought into basketball. I think that they maybe looked at, this is the conversation I think donors have to have nowadays is what's more gettable? And I wonder, okay, we can talk about Nebraska here. I wonder if Nebraska's doing that. What sport between football and men's basketball do they feel like in the national sense is more attainable or easily attainable? I think Nebraska leans football, and I think Arkansas leans men's basketball.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think Arkansas looks at the SEC in the football world and goes, we're not going to be able to compete up at the top. So, but in basketball, we can, especially with a guy like John Calipari at the top. And then
which he's 5 years, 7 years.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. He's also fine right now.
Yeah.
They lost to Michigan State in East Lansing and stuff. But I think then Nebraska looks at it and goes, all right, what's more attainable, right? Getting into a 12-team playoff and just giving ourselves a shot, or really making waves in the field of 64. And I think they look at it and say football. And that's fine, right? To each their own. You got to identify that.
I would tell Nebraska not to give up the big picture for something short-sighted and go away from football. I think you got to stick with that. Also, trivia before we go to break. Who is the visiting team at the Breslin Center tonight?
I could not tell you.
The man returns to the place of his biggest road victory at Nebraska. Tim Miles in the San Jose State Spartans.
I thought he went to I thought they played at Colorado State tonight.
Not tonight.
Gotcha.
Nope. Big Bag Hank, we love you. We know you're a longtime listener. I was not trying to give you grief. I'm just saying we don't have enough time.
Austin, that was kind of aggressive.
It was. It was more a suggestion to go back.
Did you say it and then go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that?
No, I knew what I meant. I just knew it also came out not the way I intended it. But yes, please, Big Bang Hank, if you have the time now that you're off of work, you're a hardworking man, I would suggest you go back and listen to the first segment of the show where we talked about this very concept.
Don't look up the San Jose State score.
Yeah, it's probably pretty bad.
16-2 with 12 minutes to go in the first half.
Hail Sparty.
Which
wrong one. The green and white Spartans.
11:57 to go in the first half. Michigan State leads Tim Miles 16-2. San Jose State 0-2 this year.
Someone's going to get questions about that on Corner 3 tomorrow night. I can promise you that.
There you go.
We'll go to break, wrap up the show in a sec.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Make Hog Wild the centerpiece of your Thanksgiving feast. Pre-order a 12-pound whole smoked turkey or a 4-pound turkey breast for $55. A 4-pound boneless ham is $50. A complete meal includes your choice of a whole turkey or turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, green beans or corn, and a dozen rolls for $130. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com soon. Quantities are limited. All weights are approximate before cooking. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Fall is officially here, and Brown's Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in to see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown's Shoe Fit, they take the time to measure your feet to ensure proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q. MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Back to Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A very brief final segment here on Old School, brought to you as always by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, Austin Norman and Nick Sainer. Nick, thank you for filling in. I appreciate it. Maybe a one segment cameo or 1 hour cameo tomorrow.
Indeed.
Around lunchtime.
Indeed.
Stay tuned for that. Always goes too quick, but appreciate everyone listening and staying tuned here on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Thursday night football again coming up here on The Ticket in just about half an hour. Jets versus Patriots.
Oh, what an intriguing game.
It is at the Patriots, so you certainly lean heavy to New England in this one. AFC playoff picture. Kind of wild. It's like it's 2010 again or 2006 again with the Patriots, the Steelers, the Colts and the Broncos, of course, leading their divisions. I'm most surprised by the Steelers. And now, granted, the Colts, we've had those conversations before. Denver's had some talent. Drake May seems to be legit, but I didn't realize Aaron Rodgers' numbers, these last couple of years, actually surprisingly decent. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Now, probably still a wild card team, but good for them. They're relevant, playing some good football.
Well, and they've done enough, right? That's the kind of the key to it. Aaron Rodgers has done enough towards the back end of his career. There's so much off the field stuff that's kind of been consuming the Aaron Rodgers saga. Pittsburgh's just done enough, and it continues to show Mike Tomlin. I think it just how valuable he is. The conversation of Mike Tomlin potentially coaching any other team than the Steelers is so crazy to me, but sometimes you like a fresh start. So we'll see what the future holds.
Jets cover 12.5 tonight.
12.5 is a lot in the NFL.
It really is.
I think I'm going to say no. I think the Patriots win by 14.
There you have it. Over under 43.5. New England favored by 12.
I just picked up Travion Henderson on my fantasy team. I hate fantasy football. Just picked him up, though. We'll see. Vrabel, give him the ball.
Give that man the rock.
Ramondre's had his chance.
He has.
Give it to Travion.
It's over. Travion Henderson's time. For Nick Sainer, I'm Austin Norman. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more coming your way. Take a weeknights and Thursday night football. Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
Fall is officially here, and Brown's Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in to see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown's Shoe Fit, they take the time to measure your feet to ensure proper fit. They also have